the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Time warp, bro. It's time warp.
What's your shirt say? I don't work. I don't work here. I was like, okay. I was like,
I
like how it just says I don't work. Okay.
Yeah, it's a running gag. See, on like a Saturday night or Friday night after we're done with the shift at work, I don't do it often. But at the end of at the end of the night when we're starting to close down to like there's very few people left, it's okay to get like a shift drink. I just want to drink and calm down. Right. I go in the corner someplace and I just have a drink and I just calm down. Right. Mm-hmm. But over and over again, they kept saying, "You can't get a drink if you're dressed in work clothes. You can't get a drink if you're dressed in work clothes." And I said, "Okay." So I bought this shirt. I put this shirt in the car, and when I get off work, I change my shirt. I change my shirt to this shirt, so everyone knows that I don't work here.
Yeah, I'm not working now. Yeah, I don't work here. It's good.
I don't work here.
Yeah, it's good.
You're late, Botrix. You're late.
Do you understand that Botrix is just there it's an AI filter. That's right.
It's a piece of shit AI. Is what it is.
I mean, it is late every single day. It's always late. On today's show,
it's the only AI that doesn't understand math, right? Math's hard.
It's very lazy. It's lazy AI. We're going to talk about what we've been playing for the past week. We're also going to be talking about No Man's Sky had an update in the shipbuilding and stuff like that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Wildgate is struggling. We're going to talk about Sony is doing rigorous testing on its games since last year's flop of Concord. We're going to talk about Starfield. We're going to talk about Lego Batman. We didn't get to talk about it last week. We're talking about Helldivers 2 because it came out on came out on Xbox, so now it's on all major platforms except for Nintendo Switch, which I guess it could come out for Nintendo Switch. It's not really it would shit its frames. It wouldn't look that good. But anyway, we're going to talk about Spider-Man's modded multiplayer. We're going to talk about NVIDIA. We're going to talk about Razer's gaming laptops. We're going to talk about Call of Duty and Battlefield, of course. We're going to talk about Atari. We're going to talk about Nintendo. We're also going to talk about The Expanse a little bit, and we're going to compare that to other sci-fi games that have been out there in the past. And then we're also going to talk about Hell Let Loose, and we're going to talk about Splitgate and The Division if we have time. Now, all these stories might not happen, but these are the things that we have planned. So if you're watching this after the fact, you can, go through and see which ones, what stories and whatnot we did talk about or we didn't talk about. You can also listen or watch us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and anywhere else a podcast is listened to. We're here Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on youtube.com/30NSG. And we're also live right now on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch, you can also give us a follow over here. We do this podcast every single week over here on Twitch. How's it going, Sarge? Another week, another thing down. So, anything before we start to see what we've been playing? Anything you want to talk about? Bring up something that happened.
No, I've been keeping it on the DL for the last week or so. No, I don't want any more problems. So I'm just trying to, when you're, I guess your mojo's off or your cheese off, like you're breaking things, you're banging into things. I'm cutting my finger, smacking my hand. Have you ever smacked the top of your hand? Like
Yes.
you bang it on something?
Yep.
Like I've now banged it so many times that I'm pretty sure I've got nerve damage in my left hand because I keep smacking it like right here.
Right.
And so like I'm like this bad juju this last couple weeks, so I've been trying to do less and not to put myself in positions where I'm going to injure myself.
So you're pussifying your life?
I'm not pussifying my life, but I got tired of being injured for no reason.
You're pussifying your life. You're like, I got injured. I don't want to get injured again, so I'm going to take it easy.
For no reason.
I mean,
like for instance, I was at work just wiping a shelf. Someone didn't put the thing on the top shelf on the shelf right, and it hit me in the fucking head.
oof.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like you just got bad juju. So I bought a rabbit's foot. I found a horseshoe.
Okay.
Some salt over my left shoulder. I called the second hotline.
Are you superstitious? I used to be really superstitious.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm superstitious, but I believe in yin and yang. I believe there's a front and a back and a left and a right to everything.
So if something good is happening to you, you're waiting for this shit to happen to you.
I mean, it's not like you're waiting for it. You should just understand that's how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? It's the law. I call it the law of even Steven, right? You can have a really great thing happen, and then you can have some bad shit happen because it's got to equal out.
I gotcha. I got something exciting. It was not really exciting, but it was exciting when the other day I was taking my son to school. Okay, and all of a sudden we almost, there's a cop car coming in the opposite direction of the road, on my side of the road, just flying towards us. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then he like slams on the brakes. He's got his lights on, and I'm like, am I getting pulled over? Like, what's happening here? And then he gets out of the car and just runs. Right, he just runs.
You saw a cop actually run, and you didn't film it?
No, I was driving. I didn't have time to grab my
like
phone.
That's like a unicorn.
Yeah, so he like pulled. He was going 70, 80 miles an hour on a 25. I should have gave him a ticket, citizen's arrest. But he like shot up, got out of the car, and then ran. Right, and then I heard a copter. Right, I heard a copter, and I was just like,
A copter.
A copter, yeah.
Someone's in trouble. If you got
there was two copters. There was a news copter and there was a police copter. And I was like, oh shit. My son's like, what's going on? I'm like, someone's playing hide and seek, right? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, someone got pulled over or something and they ran out of the car. Two guys. Okay. Well, at least I heard the story was two, but supposedly there's more. Okay. But it was a regular traffic stop, and then the car ran and they pulled over. And then 4 people ran out of the car, okay? And 2 of them, let's just say, didn't belong here.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I do, because it was an ICE raid.
Oh, was it?
Yes. Yeah. So they were apprehending these 2, and they hid in these neighborhood, about a mile and a half down the road. They were hiding behind the person's house. And my son asked while we were driving by, he's like, what's going on? I said, they're playing hide and seek and they're going to lose. And he's like,
I love adult hide and seek.
Yeah, it's adult hide and seek.
Night vision and dogs.
It was 8:00 in the morning.
Yeah. In the morning?
Yeah, 8:00 in the morning. Right. So I was like, what's happening? So I was explaining to my son, I was like, they're playing hide and seek. They're going to lose because they're criminals or whatever. I didn't know who they were at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, they're bad guys. They're playing hide and seek, and they're going to get caught. He's like, well, how are they going to catch them? I said, because eyes. I said, we have eyes in the sky. We have dogs, and that's what caught them. A dog. They brought the canine unit out, and because all I did was sniff the car, that they jumped out of the car, put the dog in the car, and then they set the dog loose, and the dog found him. I dropped the kid off, and by the time I came back, everyone was gone. They got him within 10 minutes, right? I was like, this is awesome. I was like, yeah, so don't play hide and seek with the cops, kids. Okay.
I mean, that's early for cop stuff, bro.
I mean, if we're talking like Wild West and they didn't have copters and you know what I mean, like
it's
all
fair.
this technology, and
right,
you want to run, sure. But now,
the old park your car in the parking garage and run.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you got to think like
I
the
touched
movie.
my house. You can't give me a ticket. I touched my
like
house.
Like the whole I'm on base type of thing. It's hard now. Like if you're driving a car and you don't want to get caught, you have to burn the car. Like you can't. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it in the movies where you like drive someplace, change the plate, and park somewhere like not suspicious and like
Right.
change the plate on the car. Like you got to burn the car. Like you got to, otherwise there's no hiding anymore. Like I'm sure there are going to be new and inventive ways to hide from law enforcement because anytime there's always a back and forth like this. But nowadays, hard.
I have a friend who's a police officer, right? And when he talks to me, he's like, I go, what do you do when they run? He goes, I hate when they run. He's like, because then I got to run. He's like, we got like 45, 50 pounds of gear on us as we're running. He goes, they always get caught, but they always run, and we have to run after them because if they don't run after them, they don't know where they're going. You know what I mean? So let's go on first over on Twitch. What's going on, Kinger? Guys, give Kinger some claps in chat because Kinger's video hit over 1 million views. 1 million views for his video on Battlefield streamers don't. I'm sorry, big streamers don't know what Battlefield is. It's a good video. We watched it on stream the other day, Kinger. It's good stuff. All right, Sarge. Let's go to what have we been playing. All right, Sarge. Another week down. Lots of games. I have lots of games, dude. I went from I don't know what to play to
I have too much shit to play.
I have too much.
I have
shit to
too
play.
much shit
Exactly.
to play. I have too much shit to play. I mean, my problem is that if I like something and we start playing it, I know that within 2 or 3 weeks something else is coming. And so I'm going to stop playing the game I think I like for something else that I also think I like. And then I'm caught in this trap where I'm bouncing around in games. Like Grounded 2, I really liked. I'm trying to level up. I'm trying to figure out the stuff in the game. But now here comes Dawn of War Definitive Edition, right? So I start playing that because I love Dawn of War, right? Then we started talking about PoE 2, and I completely had forgotten about it because I just forgot about Diablo. And I was playing it at your house, and I'm like, this seems fun. I'll play this. So then I got that.
You said you started playing. You're like, why aren't we playing this on Wednesdays? I was like,
why aren't we playing this?
I was like, yeah, I'm okay with playing it.
So then I buy PoE 2, and then not even a week, not 4 days. You're like, Helldivers is out for the console.
I didn't say anything. I was playing on Tuesday night, and all of a sudden I saw you in the lobby, and you started like, oh, I didn't need to buy this again. I was like, no, you didn't need to buy it again. You could have just played it on PC.
When you say crossplay, I always think it's console crossplay, not PC to console. That's why. Listen, Roadkill, you know the rules, right? You know my rules, right? 30 can do whatever he wants, right? I don't pre-order, I don't day one, and I don't pay full price for a half-ass game.
That's right.
Period. The game is not done.
The game is a good game. Don't get me wrong.
Looks great.
All the content wasn't in the game.
And all the mods on
out.
PC makes my mouth water how awesome it is. That they can do all the mods and the costumes and all the skins. And awesome. Yep.
I don't like the business model.
However, how many games do I have surrounded by that you think I'm going to make yet a little bit more room for another game to put into the circle? I'll just wait. It's cool. There's plenty of games.
No, it does not. Your progress does not come over from Helldivers, so you got to start over if you play again on Xbox. I'll be honest. I like console. I prefer console more than PC. I play PC games. I have Helldivers 60 hours, 70 hours, whatever it is on PC. But there's just something I had to buy it on Xbox because my son couldn't play it when we played on PC. So now I bought it, and now we've been running missions together, and we're having a blast. So I'm glad that I bought it for Xbox so he could play it as well. Bad part is I have to re-level everything, so I have nothing. So I'm at level 8, 9. I think I just turned.
Did you have to buy it twice?
Yeah, I bought it. No. For him, no. I only bought it on my machine. Then you log into his machine, and then you download it off of my name, and then it's on his system.
So because it's in the same house, it doesn't actually want to charge you twice?
No, because it's my Xbox. So I have his account and my account. I'm the main account on that box and my own Xbox.
Still, I'm still going to follow down this road.
Yep,
right?
go ahead.
So you have 2 separate Xboxes. You
I do.
downloaded it to your Xbox. You then transferred it over to the other Xbox.
Correct. It's still my
And
Xbox. It
It's
doesn't know
still your Xbox.
Yeah, it's my Xbox. So both mine. I'm the main account.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if I can have 12 Xboxes here and I can play it on all the Xboxes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's 12. I think it's a little exaggeration. I think you can share up to 3 or whatever it is. So, yeah. This is why they're doing the family plan down the road, right? Where I won't be able to do this, and they're going to charge me like $25 a month to do what we're doing. But anyway, I bought it on my Xbox, logged into his Xbox with my account, download it from my account. Like, if he's logged in or him, whatever games that he's downloaded are on his thing. But if he goes to my name and goes to full library, there's 100 more games there, right? So he only downloads what he wants to play or whatnot. Yeah, 30 sets his home Xbox on his kid's box, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I could do the same thing technically, Sarge. I could do that if I didn't have a kid. I could make my account on your Xbox, and then we could have I buy it, and then you could also play it.
Yeah, but I'm not that petty.
Yeah, I know. I'm just letting you know.
I'm not that petty. I like to fund the business a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I'm still mad that the last game I purchased as a hard copy is Avengers. Still mad.
Yeah.
I might have to buy a Clear Obscure's game if it's a hard copy that I can actually get it. You know what I mean? I need to buy something else.
No, it's digital. I don't think they have a hard copy for that.
It's horrible. It's horrendous.
You might have to buy Space Marines 2 as your next physical copy game.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't have Avengers as my last hard copy game ever. I can't do it.
That's right. Water says with pins, Sarge.
Yeah, I've got the pins.
He's got the pins.
Yeah. I've got the pins.
And I remember you bought like I got the pins. I was like, because you it was like a
I bought it
special
at
GameStop,
GameStop.
right? Yeah,
I bought it at GameStop. I didn't get pre-order it.
No, I know. It was like the first amount of people that got it, and they still had them left over because no one bought the game. That's why you got them. That's the funny part. The funny part is you bought it like 2 or 3 days later, and they gave you the pins because no one was buying it. They're like, we still have these pins. You want the pins? Here's the pins.
Yeah, sure. You know what I'll use the pins for, Mike? I'll tell you what I use the pins for. When I start my secret society and I trust somebody, I give them one of the pins and they wear it someplace. And then I know I can talk to that person because
it's like your
they were
trusted
given
circle.
like a pin. Yeah, like a
it's
ring
like
or
a
something.
trusted circle.
If I see an Avengers pin, I know that you're trustworthy. Right? That's the only thing you can use it for. That's it. Otherwise than that.
All right. So of all the games you're playing, what game are you enjoying right now? Like what games are you playing?
I mean, I'm kind of funny. Like the endorphin rush for certain games, it's there for most things because I like strategy games. I like losing myself in a strategy game. So currently right now, it's the Company Heroes 3. Currently right now. I'm replaying Dawn of War, but I'm still playing Company Heroes 3 competitive online with some people. So I gave a timeout for Dune for a while. And then the games that we've been playing, which is every Sunday is Baldur's Gate. And we'll be playing Grounded. And I watched the Gamescom thing. It's like Helldivers, right? Path of Exile. It's like it's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Path of Exile 2.
It's a busy week, man. Like I don't understand how you have time to play all the games that are out there, and I'm busy, and I'm trying to make it. I know there's some people out there just no time at all.
I was playing Grounded 2, and then I stopped playing Grounded 2.
Randy's not getting my money. Trust me.
What's that?
Randy is not getting my money.
I started playing Grounded 2, and then I stopped playing Grounded 2 because I started playing the Battlefield 6, a couple weeks ago. And then I got the bug, so I started playing Battlefield 2042. And then from that, I got the bug to play Hell Let Loose, so I've been playing a lot of Hell Let Loose.
Yeah, I've been playing Hell Let Loose.
I love that game. I could literally make a whole channel on just military sims and stuff like that.
You know what's hilarious? You know what's hilarious? You started playing Hell Let Loose, right? And then for all of a sudden, I started getting messages on Discord from people I haven't heard in a long time. They're like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing? You still alive? Are you still playing Hell Let Loose?" A bunch of us are playing, and like, so some guys have called me up, and I started playing back in again. I'm like, "Is that weird? That's weird, right?"
I would say it is weird, but I would think because of Battlefield 6, I think a lot of people picked up Battlefield 6,
And it makes them think about it.
It doesn't make them think about it. They look at it and go, I'd rather be playing Hell Let Loose. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of old veterans that played the Battlefield games played Battlefield 6 and were like, it's fun, but I'd rather play Hell Let Loose because there's a lot more strategy involved in that. There's a lot more stuff that goes involved with that. Me and Mr. Luke were playing today. We got into the recon. Well, we played the other day with you yesterday afternoon. And we were in the tank. We did pretty good in the tank. The second mission that we went on, right? And then today we went in the recon, and he's the spotter. And the first board we played on, the snowboard. It was the second match, but the first match was over real quick because we joined in at the very end. We did really well, man. We did really well. I was, I like the sneakiness behind enemy lines. I like setting up and spotting and calling things out. I like just being us two, right? And like slowly going through methodically. It made me think that maybe I would love to play other games like that, like Armor Reforged, where it's just like a small group running across, where it's slower paced, not, Call of Duty Battlefield where you're running and gunning all over the place. So I'm really liking Hell Let Loose, and obviously it's going to take hours and hours and hours to get used to the maps, playing over the maps all over again, to learn the terrain, where to go, what the strategy is, where would the people be coming from if they take over certain spots. Then you have roaches, the rats and roaches that stay around, and you have to try to clear that up.
Can't stand roaches, bro.
Yeah.
I can't stand them.
I'm having a blast playing Hell Let Loose. Then I started playing Path of Exile 2 because the update I saw last week, and they were talking about it, and it comes out tomorrow. So I was like, you know what? Let me jump back into Path of Exile 2. You came over this past weekend, and we started playing. I was like, yeah, I'll play this, keep this going. Okay.
I'm not gonna. I don't see myself playing it like ridiculous, but I'll play it to the end of the story and maybe a little bit of the end game, and then that's it. Because I see the grind that it is, and I'm not interested. I'm not interested in grinding that way when I have all these other games I can play.
I don't like restarting all the time. I'm going to talk about another game that does this as well, which is completely different than a ARPG. But I'll play the story. I have other characters to see which ones I like and whatnot. I might go back and play. Maybe I'll play a season or a league. I'm sorry, like a league. But I'm not a big fan of that starting over every season and then grinding through because I just don't have the time. Right? Like I might have one season where I have the time and I play through it and I'm okay with that. And then it goes into I forget what it's called, if it's your main character or whatever. I don't know what the term is in Path of Exile. But you take that season character and then make them into the standard mode or whatever it is.
I can't stand that.
But then the next season, I might only play 5 hours. And I'm not going to start a character over to put another 50 hours into that other character. So I just rather put the 5 hours that I have into the character that I've already been playing. Right? That's how I look at it. So then from Path of Exile 2, which I'm really enjoying, we played that the other day, so you guys can check that out. I started playing Helldivers 2 because Helldivers 2 came out on Tuesday. Okay? And man, I loved Helldivers on PC when I was playing on PC. I got to level, I think it was like 30, 27, 29, 30, something like that. And that's when the game first came out. It was at that first month and a half, 2 months of the game. And then Sony came out and kind of said, kicked the door in. It was like, Daddy's home. And everyone's like, ah. And everyone stopped playing because they ruined it because they were like, all right, before you guys can continue drinking and having fun, can you sign this contract here that says you have to have a PlayStation account? Everyone's like, I'm leaving, right? So it kind of like sucked the air out of the room at that point. And at that point, I had 65 hours. And I was like, I'm done. And then I went back a little bit after... And then I went back and I had war bonds, but I couldn't collect the war bonds because I already had max war bonds. So then the new war bonds came in and it just showed me an additional like 250 war bonds I couldn't get because my war bonds was full. So I was pissed at that and I was like, I'll stop. But now I'm playing again, right? And I'm liking it a lot because now I can play with my son. I can play and it's a good community. It really is a good community. I would say it's one of the better communities out there in gaming, is just because I love the role playing. I love the role playing. I love that everyone's like in character. Like the people that play, some of the guys that play, more people that play this are like in character. They're not fantasizing like they're a dark elf inside a Skyrim game. They are a Helldiver, right? And they're protecting Super Earth with democracy. You know what I'm saying? Like they are in that role. It's fun. I'll show some stuff in a little bit, about what's happening with Helldivers, but I'm really liking Helldivers 2. And then one day after, okay, No Man's Sky comes out. Sean Murray comes out and says, hey, here's another update for No Man's Sky. And I'm like, oh, cool. What is it? And this update is fantastic, right?
Is them going over and punching Starfield in the face while they're down?
Yes, it's
like,
Starfield 100%.
Are you going to make a sci-fi game? Are you? Are you going to make one?
So he comes in, and here, I'll bring this up on screen. Okay. He talks about how it's called Voyagers Deep Dive. Well, it's called the Voyagers, right? And this is a deep dive of what they're doing. So they have Corvette ship classes now. Okay. So now you can make Starfield type of ships, like large ships that you can walk around in, not like a frigate, but your own Millennium Falcon, right? Your own Starship Enterprise, right? You can make your class ships, and it's co-op now. So you can now assemble your ships, build your ships, search and research your ships. You live on the ship. Now, I've said this from the very, very beginning of No Man's Sky. I was like, man, I don't really like building bases because you always leave your base, right? You always leave your base, and there's like 18 quintillion planets, and you build a base, you put your stuff, but you stay on one planet. Like, there's 18 quintillion planets to explore, but I'm staying on one planet. And since that time, they've added portals and different things where you can constantly, come back to your location. They've added multiplayer, they've added cities, and they've added so many things. Now they've added the Corvette ships, and now you can start making stuff, right? So they have a multiplayer crew. But here's a downside. I can't fly your ship. Like, you make the ship, I'm on your crew, but I can't fly your ship, which I think is a little weird. Autopilot in space. They got spacewalking. Not really a big thing. Like, why am I doing spacewalking when there's nothing to do out in space, if that makes sense? Here, let me go to here. All right. So you got spacewalking. You got habitat inside. So they make it where you can build like that shelf in the back is actually a storage facility that you can build. So when you need to put stuff in the storage, you walk up to the storage crates and whatnot. If you need to go to the med bay, you go to the med bay. You can build stuff in refineries, and you can start customizing your ships just like Starfield. It's actually, I think, a little bit better than Starfield. I wish Starfield... I mean, look, it almost looks like the ship from Starfield.
How are they funding all this time they spend making this stuff in this game?
The money up from the main game.
Weird.
Remember, I did a story maybe about a year and a half ago talking about No Man's Sky made so much money at launch that they don't have to charge anything for like 12 years.
Well, because of the size team they have.
Because of the size team they have, yeah. Right? So they actually don't have... But
Weird how that
obviously works. They keep selling No Man's Sky games because they keep coming out with updates, and someone's like, oh, I'll buy in now, right? Sort of like the conversation we had, like, why buy Space Marines now when 5 years from now it'll be a complete game, and then I can buy it for a cheaper price, right? No Man's Sky is like, why buy it 9 years ago when I could buy it today, and it's a much better game today than it was 9 years ago, right? So it's the same type of thing.
But then you're going to make the argument that all the people that bought it earlier, though, reasons why the game is better now.
Correct. Well, it is.
So somebody has to buy it now.
Correct. Right?
But it doesn't have to be me.
Right. So you can walk through your ship. There's co-op now. You can go on missions together and do adventures together. Your home is now moving with you.
They turned it into a multiplayer thing where you guys want to get on with your friends.
Yeah, it's not as good as Star Citizen yet, but better than Starfield in my opinion, right? As far as shipbuilding and traveling the universe and stuff like that. Obviously, I think the story could do better. Voice acting, combat in this game could do a little bit better. But they have a lot of stuff that they've updated in this game, which is really cool. Right? So I'll let show you a couple of the ships that people are building, Sarge. This is pretty cool. Okay, so this is someone's attempt. Well, not attempt. They actually did a really good job. This is... What is it?
A version of the Millennium Falcon.
It's the Millennium Falcon, right? So someone made the Millennium Falcon. Looks pretty damn good. This is the inside. They even have the table, right, to play the game, right?
I mean, if you're going to do this,
right, you might as well
do this. Do it right.
Right, you might as well tip the hat towards...
You're not gonna make it a Millennium Falcon and put a fucking square table in there.
Right. So there's the entrances and stuff that look like the Millennium Falcon on the inside and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Then we have Sean Murray's posting a couple of other ones. Let me go to his...
You ever notice though how in space you're supposed to economize everything, right? Because it's space, you have to worry about maintenance, everything. You ever notice how all the sci-fi movies, except for a few series, right? The inside of the ship looks just like a hodgepodge of just garbage and junk everywhere. Like, would you make a ship like that? Where you just have shit everywhere? Like that's your way of like cruising the universe as for mankind. Like I'm in a Sanford and Son ship cruising around,
Right.
just crap everywhere. I always think like minimalist as possible so shit doesn't get in the way, right? And
Right.
pipes and stuff you need because the ship needs to be cool. You need to transfer heat around the ship because you would freeze to death if you didn't like. And it depends on the level of sci-fi-ness you want to go, right? Because if you didn't have pipes go all over the ship, and everyone always complained about that, why are there pipes everywhere? Like, well, there's pipes everywhere because they emit heat, right? So it keeps the ship warm.
Right.
Otherwise, if you're in a part of the ship that doesn't have any fucking pipes, you're frozen, right? So I like to see the difference between sci-fi garbage, realism, and minimalism.
Right.
Like, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be there? Like this robot right here looks exactly like the robot they showed when they showed Starfield.
Right, but it looks better. Right, it looks better. Right.
Looks like Starfield.
Yeah, it looks great. Right, so there's one. Right, so it looks like a complete robot. Then you have this one. Right.
I know that ship.
Yeah,
I know
forget
that
what
ship.
it is.
I know
Is
that
it
ship. Hang on. I think it's from
Halo.
I think it's from. I want to say
It's a Halo ship, right, chat?
I want to say it looks kind of like the pirate ship from Empire at War and Halo. It's like a mix of the two. There's a ship that looks like that.
That's so cool, though. I mean, you got the.
I think people's abilities to build sci-fi ships, I'm always fascinated by, because you can always tell people who like sci-fi, like who are into sci-fi. Because if you're the old guy like me, like I have watched pretty much every sci-fi thing there is from the beginning, like the old black and white. Like I wasn't born during that time, but I'm saying I have watched the old black and white Flash Gordon stuff, Buck Rogers things. I've watched everything. So when somebody builds something in sci-fi, you can tell like where they've been getting their inspiration from, right? By looking at the ships that they make, like you know where they've been. Let's put it that way.
Like, look at this. It's a scorpion. That's pretty good.
Well, that's a kid that grew up in the '90s for the Scorpatron.
Yeah, the scorpion.
Transformers.
That's exactly right. The Scorpatron.
It's a Scorpatron. Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, both Z. To be fair, there's both.
Are we talking about Flash Gordon or Flash Gordon?
Well, I've seen both, but for sci-fi purposes, it's Flash.
What the hell is this? There's a goldfish on top? I don't know what the hell's happening there. Look how wide that ship is. It's crazy the amount of things that you can do with this game, and this is just the start.
The ability, the allowance of letting you build whatever is always.
I'm going to make the Borg. I'm just going to make a big box, just a giant box, and just fly it through. Why not, right?
I mean, but you know how many sci-fi ships there are, right? Like, it's absurd.
Oh, yeah. Well, someone's going to build or try to build a small replica of the Starship Enterprise, for sure.
For sure.
They're going to build a Mandalorian ship.
Here's my question, right?
They're going to build Boba Fett ship.
I don't want to segue. I don't want to segue too badly.
The last Starfighter.
But let's just for the sake of argument, let's say the minds of Earth finally come around to making an artificial gravity projector. I know this is outlandish. I'm giving you the staple first, so you understand where I'm going. Let's just say they are able to manufacture gravity, right?
Okay.
With a device. So that means we don't have to have a ship that spins to keep you grounded. You know how that's why we have to spin a ship, because then the artificial gravity pushes you to the outside and allows you to walk around, right? That you've seen this in real space, right? They have to have a ship that's spinning, right? So let's say you don't need that anymore. Like, let's say there's artificial gravity. So my question to you, chat, is in what type of ship do you think mankind would make first? If you had an artificial gravity thing, what ship would they make first to travel to someplace else? What do you think it would look like?
Flight of the Navigator. They would just make it a
So, which one's Flight of the Navigator?
Flight of the Navigator is just the egg shaped thing. You know, when it
I don't remember that one. Which one's Flight of the Navigator? With the kid flew it, right?
yeah. I think you would have.
I'm talking about a large ship that has to hold many people, not like a small fighter size ship.
No,
I'm
no,
talking about
it would be like a fighter. The first thing would be a fighter.
We're gonna explore. We're not exploring with one dude. We're
No,
exploring.
but you would
What does the ship
explore with
look
like a crew of like 5 to 10 people. That's what you would do, right? So you would get this. This is what it would look like. Hold on. Maybe a larger ship than this then. So here, I'll just it's this is what they would use. Oh, come on. Why is this? Seriously?
I like to see what chat comes up with, because I know everyone's you have it in your head what you think it might be.
It would be this, right? It would be this egg-shaped ship that it elongates when it comes out. That the longer gate version of it when it's flying at like, the speed of light or whatever it is. That's what it would be, but it would fit a bigger crew. It would be that ship. It almost looked like the Naboo Queen Naboo.
So would we actually take notes from alien vessels and make it that way, like we should, or do you think our human ego wouldn't allow it? And we would make the ship how we would want to make it.
Yeah, they would put look at Amazon boy, Bezos. I mean, he made his rocket look like his dick. I mean, he literally made it look like a dick.
Exactly, it looked like a penis. Exactly.
Yeah, it 100% looks like a dick. Right? Bezos' rocket.
Nothing like humanity going out to fuck the universe. Our ship has to look like a penis.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, look at this thing. Hold on. Let me find. Let me find. Don't knock me. Okay, this is real. This is not. I'm not trying to put a dick on the screen. We're showing a rocket. This is an actual rocket. Okay, this is Bezos' rocket. That's 100%. Look, the top part is thicker. What? Why would you make it like this? Come on. Who makes dick rockets? He does. Bezos makes a dick rocket.
Men make everything. Yeah. And remember, it's always for aerodynamics. That's why they make it that way.
For God's sakes.
Only a man would be able to make a rocket ship look exactly like a penis.
He's like,
fill
they
it with,
made fun of my penis
and
when
then
I was younger.
fill it with women,
and
right?
I'll show right.
Only a man would be able to do this. Only a man would be able to do this. I'm gonna make a spaceship look like a penis and put women inside it. That's what we're gonna do.
He was inspired by the rocket scene from Austin Powers. Yeah.
It's absolutely correct, Nick. It is circumcised.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I think we would make a futuristic thing, right? And
it has to be something that you can live in long term if we're going to explore. That's why I say
should have named it the USS Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes. If you guys ever pay attention to like the military stuff, I know this is off the beaten path now, but like in the Navy, right? They name the smaller ships after usually like towns or people, right? The cruisers are named after cities, and the battleships were named after states. So by that mentality, it's like, so what would the starship be called? Like, what do you? Because if it's a science thing, it's named after some philosopher. That's how we do it, right? If it's someone that took part in it and was always looked upon like, oh, he's such a great person, we're gonna name the ship that. Like, but we can't name like your first human ship that explores the universe Toby. Like you can't name it something ridiculous. It has to be a good name.
Yeah.
Right. And it can't be USS, right? It has to be representative of Earth. Right. So first, all the politics have to go by. We have to first make a worldwide space force.
Oh yeah,
not called Space Force, but it has to be everybody together, and then you gotta name it. All
right, let's go to top stories. All right. First up, since we're talking about spaceships and stuff, let's talk about Dreamhaven's Wildgate has struggled with sales. It struggled with sales, Sarge. I don't know the sales number. Do you think it's higher or lower than Concord? This is that PvP game where it's a group of people on each ship and they're battling each other to get stuff.
It's Sea of Thieves, but space.
Yeah, it's Sea of Thieves with space. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Well,
do you think this sold? I don't know. Do you think it sold more or less than Concord?
Well, I'm sorry, more or less than Concord?
Yeah, more or less than Concord.
Like Juji Fruit sells more than Concord, and everyone hates Juji Fruit.
That's the metric, right? Concord was 12 days and done. Obviously, this has been out longer than 12 days, so success.
I mean,
success.
Do you think it sold more than Concord? So Concord sold 25,000 copies.
We know 25,000 copies were sold for Concord.
I'll say, yeah, it sold more than Concord.
I don't even know if they tell us the thing. So
I don't.
Wildgate struggled with sales. Let's see if it says it. There you go. Wildgate has sold just 130,000 units. Well, you know what? That's 5 times more. 4 times more. 4 times more.
I mean, was it a small studio?
I don't know the size of it. It says a tough time for new video game IPs, according to the new report. Wildgate, the new online PvP game from developers Dreamhaven, has struggled with sales since it released. Bloomberg reports that Wildgate has sold just 130,000 units in the first month, plus the data, which comes from a letter of Dreamhaven co-founder sent to the staff. He says Blizzard co-founder said that despite the positive reviews from the critics, the game performed below commercial expectations. It wasn't just Wildgate that struggled. Dreamhaven's other game, Sunderfolk, also just sold 62,000 copies, which is still better than Concord. So congratulations. You did not become the new Concord. You sold more, way more than Concord. So, I mean, look, when I saw this game, obviously there's way too many games. There's way too many games. This game came out.
It's not that it's too many games. That's not the main factor.
Not enough time, too many games.
No, this type of game is like Sea of Thieves, which means first of all, you want to be in the universe, number one. You have to have friends that want to play with you in that universe. And it's a game that they want you to keep coming back to on a daily basis. How many games can you keep coming back to on a daily or weekly basis? This game would have been fun, right? However, how many other games are doing the same thing?
Well,
what do you want us to do?
Kinger's bringing up Jump Ship now. Jump Ship, I think it's called, right? And that game is a PvE game. That's like Helldivers. That's like Galactic. What's the dwarven one? Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic,
right? Deep Rock Galactic. That's Jump Ship, right? Where you're on a ship together and you're going on adventures and doing missions and stuff like that. That seems more appealing to me than this. This is a PvP group ship versus 3 other people on a ship, and you're fighting each other in space. Sounds cool. Looked cool. It looked cool, but
it looks good.
But the problem with this is this lives or dies on the amount of people playing.
That's correct.
Where Jump Ship, you only need you and 3 other people or 2 other people or 1 other person to play that game, and your experience doesn't change because you're not depending on other people to be in the game. You could play the game by yourself. You could play the game with 2, 3, 4 people, and that game gets better as the more people you add. Where this game, if no one plays it, it's fucking dead. It's done.
If I add up all the other games that we keep talking about that are the most logged on to and played in games for the week, Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite, COD.
Did they change the name of it? I didn't know that.
Like those games, everyone's logging in every friggin' day. What do you want to happen? Like, explain to me in the realm of gaming, if I make a game like this that relies on population for it to be successful, meanwhile, I know the rest of the games that are people logging in daily to play. What's going to make them stop that game to play this game on a time level that lets them know that the game is worthwhile playing? I'm already vested. You already have millions of people vested. I don't understand the mentality. They created their own problem. Then they're going to say, well, see, we can't make our own IP, so we have to copy pasta every game so everyone can play it because otherwise they won't play it. No, you need to make a single-player game or a co-op game that people will play, finish, and put away. Like, you want every game to be Fortnite. You want every game to be... It's not going to happen, right? It's sad that they make a game like this that'll just fall off because there's too many other things that are going on. There's too much.
This is a gameplay from Wildgate.
Like this
It
to
looks
fail?
great. Like the graphics look great. The
It looks
aesthetics. It looks like a fun game. But again, if this was a PvE game, I think it would succeed. But because it's a PvP game, if it doesn't sell well, then people get the smell of that and they're like, "Oh, it didn't sell well."
You know what I
It's
think's
that
gonna happen?
scene. It's that scene from Toy Story where Andy doesn't want to play with the broken toy anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I think is going to end up happening? What's going to end up happening is a game like this will be promoted a couple times a year. It'll be on either Game Pass or PlayStation Now or something like this. It'll be a focus. Like they're going to put it up, they're going to advertise for it, and they're going to have a bunch of people play it for that weekend or the 2 weekends, and then it goes away. And so people will be like, "Oh, well, I'll try it because it's going to go away anyway, so I'll just play it." You know what I mean? Like if they want to have engagement and be able to reach into people's pockets because they're going to buy a couple things here and there because they don't care because they're having fun. You know that kind of mentality. Like otherwise, what are you supposed to do with this game? How are you supposed to feel about this game? Like what do you?
I think the only way this game survives, a game like this survives, and it doesn't even mean it'll survive, but it gives it a better chance. Now, this is not a free to play game.
The name of that ship, by the way, was called Banana Castle. Just so you know.
Okay, I don't know if this is a free to play game. I don't think it is. I think it's a $40, $50 game. Okay, which is another like barrier. A game like this would survive if they put it on PlayStation Plus, Game Pass type of things, where they get the money up front from PlayStation, from Xbox, and put it on that type of service. So people are playing it on that service, and it's just there. Where they make the studio makes the money up front, they just leave the game, they make the game, sell the game to the publishers, and then that's it. They walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't
something.
It's not a live service game. They don't do anything with it. They just make the game for those services, put it out there, get upfront money, and then
think about this. Think about this for a minute. If they sell 6 million copies of a game, they're still not happy. They didn't make enough money because they're spending too much money and there's too many people working on the game, right? So 5 or 6 million copies is still not enough anymore, right? So now you have a game like this. So even if you were to sell 3 or 4 million copies, it still wouldn't be enough. So what are you supposed to do with this?
It's a $30 game. $30 game.
What are you supposed to do with this game? If everybody's busy logging in to do all the other stuff that they do during the week, because you have your games list in your mind, everybody in this chat's got a game list in their head that they're playing for the week. You think you got room to fit this guy in? I don't. What are you supposed to do with this game?
Yeah.
Right. And then we're supposed to be we're supposed to be made to feel guilty because I didn't throw another $30 at a game that I'm going to play for 2 weeks and then never think about again. Not because I don't think it's fun, but my list is huge, right? We're coming around to holiday season. Just games are falling from the sky. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Explain. You not only do you want my $30, but you want my $10 a week, $5 skins, $25 season passes. Like you want all this stuff, but I don't have time. So what do you want?
Right. Like because if you buy a season pass from Marvel Rivals, it's a free to play game. But then you buy the season pass from Fortnite, which is a free to play game. Then you buy the season pass from Genshin Impact, which is a free to play game. Then you play Apex Legends and you get that season pass. It's like how much time do you have to go through?
I'm not doing homework. I don't care. Like every time they come out with a game like this, and this is the part that bothers me. Good people worked on this game. The game is creative. It looks fun, but it doesn't have the staying power because they have built a community of short memory people who play games and then leave, right? You don't have people that are staying in games for hours. The World of Warcraft people are that group of people is going down. Like people who stay inside games forever. Like, no, you want me in this game for an hour, 2 hours. Then you want me in this one for a couple hours. Then you want me in this one for a couple hours. And it's not sustainable.
Yeah, I think you're right, Krebsy. I think a game like this needs an IP behind it. Like if you made this game Star Trek and you're battling each other or Battlestar Galactica, right? Like an IP like that.
Then they would have to pay for a license.
Then they have to pay for the license.
It's a small studio. They can't afford it.
Yeah. And you are correct. It is a ex-Blizzard employee that opened up the studio for Wildgate.
And I feel bad. But they created the industry that they were in, so we don't have the luxury of having these people stay around.
I believe that game is only on PC, which is another thing, right? I think to give yourself the best opportunity, again, small studio, I get it, but if you put a game like that and it's across all three of the big platforms, where it's PlayStation,
or
Xbox,
at least consoles,
and PC,
at least consoles.
right? You got to put it out there for people to play because, again, $30. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that type of game. I think it's a good price for a game, but it's not a good price for that game. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a PvP straight up game for $30. So you're rolling the dice thinking that enough people buy this game, so when I log into that game a month from now, there's going to be a lobby that I can get into and play, and that might not be. And you're hindered on that part because it's a PvP game. I don't know if they plan on making a PvE mode. I doubt it because it's 100% ship versus ship, where Space Jump, okay, or Jump Space, which was Jump Ship, okay, is PvE. It doesn't matter. If you buy the game by yourself, it doesn't matter if it's sold 100,000 copies or 200,000 copies or one copy. You could still play that game and your experience is not going to change, right? So it doesn't need other people to keep that game. Now, that game could close down as well because not enough people play it. I just don't know. Well, let's go to the next story, which is talking about Concord, right? Did Wildgate sell more than Concord? It did. And Sony Studios Business Group admits that they do more rigorous and more frequent testing now after Concord flopped. I don't trust this. I don't trust this. Okay. Because since Concord last year bombed in 12 days, they've canceled 5 to 6 other live service games since that point. So maybe they're right. Maybe they do more rigorous testing, and that's why they canceled the games. They're like, oh shit, it was on pace of what this game was like. I have no idea.
Do you believe that statement?
I don't believe the statement. I don't believe they do more rigorous testing.
More rigorous and more frequent testing.
I believe they say this. I believe they say this because it's a metric. And if of all of us here go, oh, see, they learned the lesson from Concord. They didn't. You just happen to find that Concord is the one that didn't do it. Come on.
Well, here's the best thing about the statement. When you didn't test at all, having Todd or Billy test for you is more rigorous and frequently because there's a guy actually doing it, right? Any number is better than 1 or better than 0, right? Because before it was 0. You know how we could tell it was 0? Because we played it. When it comes out, it's broken, right? So we know that no one tested it, right? So now you got a guy testing it. More rigorous and frequent. How's it going? Like you hear crickets. Some dude's in his basement testing out the game. It works good. Sure it does. Sure it does.
It says, I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would also like us, when we fail, to fail early and cheaply.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
Surprisingly candid comment. Nonetheless, he wanted them to think big when making major titles, while PlayStation was also taking measures to prevent fallout from titles that missed the mark. The new approach has motivated by the failure of Concord. Okay. Do you know what I love? That Redfall failed.
Concord is the diamond that's going to save everybody because they go,
yep,
we don't want to be Concord, so let's cut it right here.
I said this earlier. Redfall was the failure for Xbox, right? But the difference between Redfall, okay, and the studio over there, they didn't just buy the studio that just made that. They bought the whole organization. They paid $3 billion or $7 billion it was for Bethesda to get all those different high IPs and whatnot. And that was a title that was in there, a new IP. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever, go forward. And that you could still play that today. You could still go play Redfall today. So it was a failure for Xbox, but at the same time, you could still play it. And they did fix it, or make it better, I should say. I wouldn't say fix it, but they made it better. Okay.
So does the guy actually attack you and does it just spin in a circle?
Yeah, you could put a flashlight in their face. Maybe they react now. I don't know. I haven't gone back. But they're saying here, oh, we learned our lesson. Yeah. You canceled 5 other games since this. Then you have 2 more games coming out. You got, I think it's Fair Game, and you have Marathon. Fair Game's dead in the water.
Marathon's not coming out, bro.
Fair Game is dead in the water. Marathon.
You think Marathon's coming out?
Marathon
bro?
Has to come out, Sarge.
Has
to come out.
Bro, I've watched the train wreck for the last 3 years. Marathon does not have to come out.
Marathon's coming out like Skull and Bones came out for Ubisoft. There is no way that Sony paid the money they did for the one IP, which is Destiny. And Destiny right now.
Oh, they're writing that off, bro.
Destiny right now is hurting. Okay, they did some major things. I didn't bring a story in today, but people were telling me left and right that, holy Christ, Destiny's in a bad spot. I'm like, I've heard this for the last 10 years. Okay, but regardless, Sony's like, what do we got? What do we have from the studio we paid for that was supposed to help us with our live service aspects, and they didn't? We canceled 5 live service games. Okay, we have nothing coming out with live service. Helldivers is keeping the ship together because Helldivers is making a shit ton of money for them.
And they tried to shit on that when they had it.
Right, they almost blew it because they're like, you gotta sign in. Shut up! We're trying to play a game over here. They almost ruined it. Okay.
Well, you know what? Here's the line of responsibility, right? The guy who okayed the deal to buy Bungie for their live service extravaganza, right, should have seen the writing on the wall for Bungie their entire life, their entire past, what they were doing. You wanted the easy way out because you didn't have a studio that could handle live service because you guys wanted to chase the money. So instead of actually looking at Bungie as a company and seeing what they did for the 10 years, and all you saw was live service equals money. And so somebody okayed that deal.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when they purchased it because they wanted to buy themselves into a piece of the pie, didn't work out. Right? Is that guy done? Is the guy who made the decision to buy Bungie for 3.5? He's still working.
Still there. The guy who bought Concord is still there.
He's still working.
Yeah.
So
$200 million on top of the $200 million.
Instead of letting creative people build a game and sell the game for PlayStation, they're all in a tizzy now. They're like, all of a sudden, PlayStation forgot who they were. Remember when PlayStation was like, single-player games, first-party titles, that's what we do, all pumped up, all getting all kind of crazy, like, that's what we're doing. And then we're like, okay, cool, be PlayStation. No one's saying a word. Do you? Right? All of a sudden, nope. Cancellation. Postponement. Oh, let's buy a studio. Oh, that's not working either. Like, what happened to letting your guys build the games? What happened? Oh, now we're third party. Now we're pushing PS Now. Oh, so now you're not PlayStation anymore. Now you're doing what everybody else is doing because what you were doing was no good. You bragged about it for 5 years. Right? I say let them cook. Let PlayStation cook. When they cook, they make good games. Right? But they can't hold it in. They can't just let those guys work. Right? They got to be part of the live service. They got to be part of the lottery. They got to win the billions.
Because of the rigorous testing, I don't think they're doing more frequent testing to all their games. I think they're doing rigorous testing to Marathon. They need Marathon to come out and be something for them.
Marathon's going to be the silver bullet inside the gun.
They can't have 2 games like Concord come out and not make it. They have to make Marathon work. They have to. They will push it through it will be the Marvel's Avengers. Crystal Dynamics kept just like, yeah, we're still supporting, even though they were dead on water when it came out. They're like, yeah, we're still supporting Marvel's Avengers. We're still supporting. Oh, we'll pass that along. I'll ask the devs and see what happens. Crystal Dynamics, by the way, is firing more people since then. They laid more people off. I believe that Sony looks at this and says, all right, look, we're getting rid of everyone in Bungie. We're taking Bungie over, but we need Marathon as a brand to succeed. They've talked about how they don't have enough IPs for Sony. Right? They talked about that they want live service games. They talked about how Bungie was helping them with live service stuff, and yet Marathon is struggling to get any kind of traction right now because, one, Destiny 2 right now is in a bad spot, okay? The art theft of what's happening with Marathon is still in the minds of people. 5 times art theft, okay? Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and when Marathon comes out, Sony can't just be like, oh, oops, we did it again. Like, they have to make this thing works.
What oops? You knew Bungie was caught doing shit in the past. Where's the oops? You saw Bungie's financial problems live on TV amongst everyone else for the last 3 or 4 years. We all saw it. We don't want to be part of this. We're buying ourselves out. We can't handle money. We're buying ourselves out again. I need a loan. Like, and somebody in Sony was like, we need those guys.
Yeah.
They know how to live service. We got to have them. Like the guy that said that was the same dude. Was what was the name of that movie? The Big Short, right? The Big Short, where the guy comes in with the Jenga board, and he's talking about like, yeah, this is how we're gonna win. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this piece of shit right here, and we're gonna wrap it up and sell it to everybody. Like that's the guy. That's the guy. It's not Jake Gyllenhaal. It's the other guy who's in Blade Runner 2.
Ryan Gosling.
Come on, brain.
Ryan Gosling.
That's it. Right, Ryan Gosling. The scene from that movie, from The Big Short. That's the guy from Sony who wants Bungie to save him.
So from
What?
that, what happened?
My brain hurts, bro. My brain hurts.
I was like, what's happening?
If anyone thinks Marathon's going to succeed, you guys are dreaming.
I'm telling you that it has to succeed. They will brute force it to succeed. Even if it's failing, they're like, nope, it's doing fine. They'll do an Assassin's Creed Shadows where they're like, yeah, 5 million players, right? 10 million players. They'll tell players, they'll tell metrics of anything but the actual what's happening with Marathon.
Sony will buy the company that's making Destiny Mobile before Marathon does a goddamn thing. Sony will buy the company that's doing Destiny Mobile before Marathon does a damn thing.
I personally think, and we'll come back to this, I personally think Sony will not, even if it does fail, they will deny. They'll be like, nope, it's fine. It'll be Naked Gun. Everything's fine.
So much
burning
engagement
in the background.
So much
exploding.
engagement. Most engagement ever.
Yeah, most engaged. It's fantastic. It's the best extraction shooter ever they made, which is the only extraction shooter they've ever made. Yeah.
Yep.
That'll definitely be it. Speaking of, since we talked about No Man's Sky.
Get ready for hero characters.
And we talked about
hero characters.
Right. We talked about No Man's Sky. We talked about Wildgate. We might as well do the trifecta of space games. Let's talk about Starfield. Okay. Starfield.
Is this game still out?
It's still here. Yeah. Starfield's second story DLC is coming along more. Okay. Free updates for Xbox RPG. And it sounds like Bethesda is finally improving the space gameplay. Okay. Which I think is funny because No Man's Sky is just like, hey, we just did what you did. And you guys have been doing it before us, and we're doing it better than you now for ship customization. And guess what? You can actually fly and have multiple people on your ship as you travel through space. Where Starfield is like, there's 1,000 planets that you can travel around by yourself. You could do so much in the world and build bases by yourself. Right? There's like
you don't build bases. You build a
manufacturer.
You basically build an Amazon shipping center. That's all you build.
Yeah. Right. So producer Tim Lamp says confirms the second Starfield story update potentially changing how you explore the stars. All right. Well, let's read on. In a developer spotlight, video producer Tim Lamp talks about the work of Bethesda Game Studios as having contribution to the titles of Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, the Fallout 3, Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and the most recently, Starfield. After discussing a bit of what was working on Starfield's different compared to other Bethesda Game Studio titles, Continuous is teasing by a bit of coming next, saying that I'm really excited for players to see what the team's been working on. I think we all are, because we want to know what the hell's happening. It says, quote, we have some cool stuff coming, including free updates and a feature that players have been asking for, as well as a new DLC story. What have people been asking for? Like having companion
more game.
Yeah.
They've been asking for more game. They've been asking for more game now for 3 years.
2 years. 2 years. Right? 2020.
They wanted more game.
Yeah,
they want to be able to explore more of the game.
It says
not empty planets.
I can't go into all the detail just yet, but I will say part of the team has been focused on space gameplay to make travels there more rewarding. There's also adding some new game system and a few other small delights. It's not too surprising that the second DLC expansion is in development. Executive producer Todd Howard previously indicated that the plan was more than one expansion, but it's still nice to have confirmation that DLC is still underway. Obviously, a lot of people have been speculating because there was a data mine about coming to PlayStation. And then there's also talks about that it might come also to Nintendo down the road. So if they have the next DLC, I would assume they would bundle it, right? To say, hey, Starfield's coming to PlayStation now, and not only can you get Starfield, but you can get this expansion and the new expansion for the same price as we got the first game for, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm sure that's what they'll do. He said, that said, it does seem fairly clear that to me that we also have been some internal delays. Starfield has received a couple of updates this year with improvements to creation made by modders and a new very low settings that also idea for gaming handhelds. So it says still that what's coming short compared to what the team has been saying since the start of 2025 and communicated with us as a lot of exciting things planned for this year. So we'll see what comes out for.
It's all corpo speak, bro. Let me ask you a question, right? Knowing what you know right now, after watching what Fallout 76 did, after watching the length of time it took them to release Starfield and what happened post Starfield, right? And now thinking about what you think is going to happen when they actually try to release Elder Scrolls 6. What type of do you think that that's going to be? Like, putting together everything we've seen up until now, if I put all that stuff together, if I put the issues with Fallout 76, the issues with Starfield, the firings and the hirings of all these other storyboard people, what do you think Elder Scrolls 6 looks like? Like, I know people have it in their head that they're looking for the greatest thing of all time. They're looking at the sequel to Skyrim, right? You believe
It's
that?
going to be very hard. People's expectations are super high on that game.
It's not even about expectations. It's about the fact that what your baseline games have been doing and how long it takes you to make the game playable or at least interesting for me to stay in is too long. And now you think you're going to make the grand old game, and you don't think they're going to turn Elder Scrolls 6 into a Fallout 76, right? They have to make the game to where you have to be in it forever. They can't make it a single player game where everyone's having a good time, right? That's unheard of, bro. The clock's been ticking now for a while, right? What do you think is going to happen when that game comes out? Yeah.
I mean, we'll cross that bridge when it gets here.
Yeah. There's not a magical fairy
when Elder Scrolls
pixie
6
dust
comes
over
out,
the rest of these developers.
Yeah, when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, people will make it like it's Grand Theft Auto 6. It'll be the next Messiah coming to gaming, right? That's what people are expecting.
You're hoping.
No, that's right. That's what people are hoping, that it's the next game like Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out, right? It's a game that happens once in a decade.
Well, but the problem is that these guys who take 8 years or 10 years to make a game are not the same kind of people that are making a Grand Theft Auto. It's not the same. It's not the same. They're trying to fit square pegs into round holes the entire time. They're not making the game for the game's sake. They're making the game to fit the narrative of where we are right now. It's got to have battle passes and MTX and whatever we have to do to keep people in the game. That's the template. It's not about, hey, we're making another wondrous world for you guys to explore and to enjoy yourselves in. That's not the title. That's not the template that they're going by. So you saw 76. They tested the waters. They got the numbers that they wanted. You saw Starfield, all the space that they wanted to do because they wanted to do something different than fantasy. It didn't work out for them because good in the beginning, flat in the middle, and falls off at the end. Nobody cares about the number of planets. We care about content in the game.
Right.
Your vastness of space to make us feel like we're actually exploring is one thing, but it's boring. It's boring.
Yeah. Well, No Man's Sky was boring when it first came out because you had so many planets to go and you were stuck on one biome, which is one planet, and you were in the solar system.
Too many people working on a game for too long and expecting something out. I'm concerned about these one way or the other. Grand Theft Auto is gonna kill gaming one way or the other. It's gonna kill pricing or it's gonna kill studios one way or the other. Right? This is the issue. This is the issue. Right? This next year, whoever wants to release games, you better release it before Grand Theft Auto comes out.
Yeah. So here's a game. It's like Starfield. It's like Mass Effect. It's like all these other ones. Okay. It's another game coming out that's in space. It's the next Mass Effect, which I think is a bad omen for a game.
It's not a bad omen. There's a hole in the space RPG universe.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But so Mass Effect vibes are overwhelming in the latest showcase of Owlcat's The Expanse game. Okay. Now, I'm not hating on The Expanse, right? I don't watch the show. I hear it's a fantastic show.
It's based off a more realistic space.
Yes.
space
Okay.
existence. Yeah, yeah.
Now, the Expanse is coming out, and this right here, where people are taking the Expanse and they're already going, well, it's Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect, right?
Well, you
And
compare it to the best.
well, correct. So you're looking at this. I'll show you in a second, right? So let's look at the end here, right? It's even got the same feel with the here's the poster or the backdrop of it, right? Now, obviously, I get Mass Effect vibes from this. I get Starfield vibes from this as well,
Yep.
right? Because look, there's Mass Effect,
Yeah, weird.
right? There's the Expanse, right?
Yeah, weird.
And then here's Starfield.
Yeah, weird.
Right? They all go for that same type of, Star Wars-esque poster-esque, type of thing.
Yeah.
And when you look at this, when you look at the trailer, this trailer, okay,
Star Citizen.
it looks like Star Citizen. It looks sort of like Starfield, the way, that they portrayed it, the way they did the trailers in the very beginning for Starfield was the exact same way that they're doing this right now, right? Just slow moving through the world, showing you what it is, right? Not telling you too much about it.
That it looks lived in. Got it. Yeah.
Right? They're just showing you what it is. And it kind of makes me a little nervous because people really want Mass Effect again. They want BioWare. They're working on the next Mass Effect. And I think people are already going into this game, and I think their expectations are set too high because there was no expectations for Mass Effect when it first came out. Like, Mass Effect came out, and people played it and were like, oh, this is actually really good, right? And then when Mass Effect 2 came out, people were blown away, and then obviously all space games are being compared to Mass Effect. And I think the Expanse here has a good shot to be coming really well, but I'm a little nervous about this because, again, this is what anytime they show space games, Sarge, they do these exactly what this is, right? They did this for Outer Worlds. They did this for Outer Worlds 2. They did this for Starfield. They did this for every Mass Effect Andromeda, right? They all do this, like, ambient, look at this. Look how beautiful it looks. Look how awesome it looks.
Design. World design.
The world design looks fantastic. There's other trailers that they've shown with action and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of stuff behind this game that I think people are putting too much pressure on it, and I think that's a recipe for disaster.
It's not about that we're putting pressure on it. When is everyone gonna? I love how everyone's memory is only to the good part of it, and never about the bad part about it. The bar was set by them. I did not set a bar. I did not say this is the game I want, or I'm not buying anything. Like, you made the game, you made Mass Effect. We bought it. It was fun as hell, and we replayed it over and over again. And then you kept doing better for the series. I'm not saying it has to exponentially go on forever. Nothing goes on forever. But you have to at least acknowledge the template that was used to make a good series. And then for them to step back and say, well, we don't know how that works anymore. We don't know how to make that template anymore. We don't have the people that work for us that can make that template anymore. Like, how does that work? That's like saying you wake up one day and somebody forgot how to make an automobile. Like, we don't know how to make the automobile anymore. All those guys are dead. Nobody knows how to make a car anymore. Like, makes no sense, right? At some point, somebody was taught how to make a car again. There's blueprints and books and programs learning how to make a car. You can't tell me the people that made the best games on the planet, now that they're gone, whether they're passed away or have moved on to other things, that there's nothing else. Nobody fills the blank. Everybody just walks in. They don't know nothing. Nobody taught them nothing. They didn't learn nothing. And so we're starting from scratch. Like, it's like 1991. And we're going to try to figure out how to make a game again. I don't understand the premise. Where are we? Where are we with games?
It says here that while there's no combat or dialogue sequences depicted in this video, it's nonetheless that channels Mass Effect enormously moody lighting, gunmetal corridors, a station could easily stand out as Mass Effect own, right? It looks like Mass Effect. And I think they're marketing it sort of like Mass Effect. Aku says, where was that? Aku says, where the hell did you say it? It's not going to be Mass Effect, okay? It doesn't feel the same, look the same, yes. Look,
you don't have any established characters. You can't say anything.
You're saying that because you're an Expanse fan. Like, I'm assuming you watch the series. You know what it is, right? When you make a video game, you're not only trying to get the fans that watch Expanse, right? You also want
you got to have somebody else.
Right. You also need other people to make the thing successful because not a lot of people that watch that are going to also get this, right? So you have to look at it and go, well, who do we market to? Well, you know what's missing? Mass Effect. Mass Effect is missing right now, and people really like Sarge said in the very beginning, there's a
hole.
gaping hole for a Mass Effect type of game. So their marketing and the way they're looking at the marketing, it makes it look like it's Mass Effect. It says the environments are only area of Reborn seems deeply in depth of Mass Effect. Following a lockdown on Eros, okay, we needed to gather a ad hoc crew and a commander of a ship, and we're also drawn into the system-wide conspiracy, all which fairly standard RPG stuff, but the game also has a third-person combat and cover system in it, which is also accompanied by 2 other companions, which is a little bit more specific and very different from Owlcat's previous, more traditional CRPG. Okay, most telling of all of this is the accompanying the press release status of your leadership decision will determine how squadmate loyalty shifts under pressure, right? Like, it's 100% if it's, look, Path of Exile is Diablo. It was very inspired by Diablo, and now Path of Exile is better than Diablo in many people's eyes, right? Maybe this comes out and it becomes a better Mass Effect. What I'm saying is the way they're marketing it, the way they're showing it, they want to be compared to Mass Effect. And I think that could be a downfall for the game, because if it doesn't hit that bar, okay, then people be like, I really want a Mass Effect, right? Like, I really want to play it. This is good, but it's not as good as Mass Effect. And they'll be like, and they hurt themselves. Now, they could get their own fan base and stuff behind it. I hope that this is very good. It looks nice, but don't really know much of it. Right? It says, to be clear, the completely behind all of these decisions, I would do minor crimes or good new Mass Effect game, but everything that happens between Mass Effect Andromeda and Dragon Age Veilguard has left doubtful for BioWare remains capable of providing that, right? And that's another thing. Because of what's happening with BioWare, what happened with Mass Effect, with Andromeda, what's happening with Dragon Age, people are like, man, BioWare, I can't trust them with the next Mass Effect game. So they're hoping that this game is the next Mass Effect game for fans that know that the next Mass Effect game is probably not going to be as good as the last Mass Effect game or the other Mass Effect games.
Well, at the very least, if you come out before Mass Effect does, right? Because we know Mass Effect's in the works because they've advertised it. They advertised Mass Effect like they advertised Elder Scrolls 6. They showed a screenshot, a face, and a familiar character. Like, in Elder Scrolls, all we got was land for Elder Scrolls 6. Same thing. What do you want from this game? You don't know anything yet, right? I'm concerned. I only watched the show in the beginning, like the first 3 or 4 episodes when it first came out, right? Are there alien races? Anybody else watch The Expanse? Travis, you watch The Expanse, right? Are there alien races? Because I know nothing of the show. I don't watch it. My first concern would be, how many characters can you actually have inside this game if everybody's a human? Are there other races to make things interesting? I don't remember seeing a lot of other character races in the show that I watch. So my question is, how do you make it interesting, right? Like, you're looking at Mass Effect because you're thinking about the characters that you've remembered in the game, right? You're thinking about the ones that lived, the ones that died, the relationships that you have with the characters in the game. This is a brand new IP. You can't compare it to a movie that you watched an entire trilogy of. Like, you can't compare it. Is it the same type of mechanics? Sure. We'll see if this team can do a better job of the mechanics than BioWare did. That's the only thing you can say. But it's still this type of game. There's still a giant hole in the industry for this type of game. I hope it does well. Right?
I do too.
I hope it does well.
The only reason I talk about it is because I think that I think the company Owlcat wants to be compared to Andromeda because there's a gap missing there, right? And because the fans of the show and the books, they're trying to get those guys in to try to make a game, and maybe they're inspired. I don't know. I didn't even read articles or anything that they were inspired by Mass Effect, but obviously it looks like they were inspired by Mass Effect.
Of course.
So I'm just afraid that a game like this, a brand new IP, comes out and everyone obviously compares it to that one, and if it falls short of what Mass Effect did all these years later, people are going to be like, oh, the game sucks. Even though the game itself could be fantastic on its own, it's going to get compared, and then people are going to get shit on it because of it.
100%. But they now have seen 4 Mass Effect games and countless other sci-fi games. If you can't be on par or try to beat in different categories on that level, then what's the point of even making the game? Right? If you're just trying to pump out a game that fits that checks the boxes and that's it, then why bother? Right? You want to be something special. You want people to talk about it and be memorable characters, memorable fights, memorable what storyline, whatever. But why are we putting it into a box that they can't get out of? You can't put them in a Mass Effects box. All you can say is it's a sci-fi RPG, a cinematic RPG. Let's hope. Let's hope. Right? They went with the 3-man thing. They didn't go for 4. They didn't go for 2. Right? They wanted to be familiar. Right? If they can't take it, it's the worst possible scenario. If they can't take a chance on doing a sci-fi RPG the way that they want to do it, as opposed to copying somebody else who did it before them, then they don't get a chance to actually grow that genre. They don't get a chance to what are the new things that have happened inside that genre? You don't know, because they're just copying everything else that they do, because they're afraid to try anything else, because they know the competition's so stiff that they might not even sell the game.
Altered says, if you want to become a memorable game, make a scene where you fuck a bear. He worked for Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, you're not lying. You're not lying.
All right, the next thing I want to talk about, we didn't get to talk about last week. Look, out of all the games at Gamescom last week, everyone was talking about Lego Batman, and we mentioned it for a little bit last week, and I was like,
because looks fun.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a Lego game. I like Lego games. I talked about but it's just funny to me. Like, we're in 2025. There's all these games coming out, and everyone's like, bro, I can't wait for this, right? So here we are. Rumor, the new Lego Batman game has a bigger open world than Arkham Knight. Okay, and Arkham Knight's open world was huge for a Batman game. Okay, and in this game, they say basically you're doing everything bigger and better. It's basically the Batman Arkham series, but in Lego form, okay? So Legacy of the Dark Knight will offer players a bigger Gotham City to explore compared to Batman Arkham Knight, per new report. Being the latest entry of the long-running series of Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight is a first major Lego Batman since 2014's Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. In a surprising announcement, Warner Brothers Game unveiled the new Lego Batman game at Gamescom along with a humor-filled reveal trailer. Since then, it's sparked conversation amongst fans of Batman and Lego games alike, many of whom excited about the Batman Arkham-style bits that have also positively received nods in certain highly popular Batman films. It says the upcoming Lego Batman game boasts a larger open-world rendition of Gotham City, and it represents a highly rated Batman Arkham Knight. Suggests that Twitter account called Lego Games News. The source stated that Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight version is a fictional location, consists of 4 different islands, among which the South Island is the biggest one. In other words, the TT Games developed a title feature one more island as part of Gotham City compared to Arkham Knight's 3, which include the Bleak Island, Founders Island, and it says the accounts also shared that the Batmobile, which also can help players navigate the game, vast maps, plays similar to Arkham Knights. So everything you do in that game, you do in this game as well. So like swinging from the tops, and I don't know if they have a vision, like an X-ray vision type of thing inside the Lego game. It would be funny if they did, because it's a Lego game. So do you think
but they should make fun of it that you don't need it.
Right. Well, no, the funny part would be the X-ray vision. It wouldn't change anything because there's no exoskeletons. There's no skeletons or Legos. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff would be funny. It would just,
it would just be lines.
Right. It would just be like a stick figure inside the thing, right? Like it would be funny. Look, I hope this game is fun. It looks fun. I just think it's a little weird that we're all talking about these like high profile, really graphically intense games, wide open worlds. And Batman Lego shows off at Gamescom. I was like, this is the game I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, because it comes across as just fun. It's a fun game. It doesn't seem like it's trying to be an agenda to anything. It's just make a game solo game. Right, we made a fun Batman game. So people are excited about it because it looks fun. God help them if you make a game that actually looks fun. Right? That was the whole point. Right? I'm hoping it's one of those... I hope it's as big as like the Indiana Jones one, like the
I think the Star Wars one was the biggest one.
The Star Wars one because it had all 9 movies in it.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the original series. The Indiana Jones one.
The Indiana Jones was really big. Yeah, it was pretty big because it had the trilogy. Yeah, it had the trilogy in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So if this is going to cover all the Batman movies, is that what this is going to do?
Yeah, it covers all. I think it covers Nolan's. I think it covers Reeves. I think it covers. I don't know if it covers. Jesus Christ, Michael Keaton's Burton's Batman. I think it does. I don't know. I think it's funny because they do have Bane and stuff in there.
Is it co-op?
That's what my next question was. I don't know.
Is it co-op?
I would hope it is.
I-
I would
It
hope
better
it is.
be.
I don't know.
It better be. It better be couch co-op and online co-op.
Yeah, it needs to be couch and online.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chat, did they mention anything about it as being co-op in any way, shape, or form? Couch co-op? It is? Okay. That's on fact, not rumored. It's couch co-op and online. Eclipse says, yeah, it covers everything. It has local. Do we know if it has online? Jay Shock Blast played it and said it's co-op. Co-op couch or online?
Let's see.
There's a difference.
We'll see.
It should have both. All right, the next thing I want to talk about, Sarge, is Helldivers. Helldivers 2, I should say.
Are they allowed? Are they allowed to?
I think
talk
it's just
about
local.
It if it did well?
Boo.
Are they
Boo.
allowed to talk about it, bro? Are they allowed to talk about if Helldivers did well?
Well, Helldivers 2 player count skyrockets, topping 500,000 players. Now, I have the where is it? Where the hell is it? This is. Let me refresh this. Okay. I want to refresh this just to make sure it's the right one. Okay, it's refreshed. Yeah. And okay. So 124,000 as of right now. 124,635 people. Now, this is an app that shows everybody in the game right now. Okay? This is on all the maps from console, from PC. This is keeping track of everybody that's on the planets right now. There's 333,000 people. And on PC, there's 124,635. Okay. So this number yesterday was up to 500,000. And the 24-hour peak for Helldivers 2 was around 131,000. Okay. Yesterday. Okay. 131,000 for the peak. And yet this was at 500,000. So that means there's 100. There's 131 off of 500. So there's like 370 remaining to go over for PlayStation and also Xbox. Now, we don't know what the split is with the remainder, but even if it was 150 and 150, okay, that's a lot because that means Xbox, there's over 1 million people, 2 million people playing it with that concurrent of 100, right? 100, whatever. So if it's 131,000 and there was 130,000, 150,000 on Xbox, 150,000 on PlayStation, a lot of people are coming back to play the game because of the Halo update that came in with the War Bond. Okay, a lot of people are coming back because now their friends on Xbox can play it. Xbox fans are coming in and playing it as well. So they're not only are they getting good numbers, but they're number one in sales right now, revenue-wise, on Steam. They're number one for Helldivers and number 12, I think, for Helldivers, the Deluxe Edition. So the most money that they're bringing in, it goes by not people, but revenue. So Helldivers right now is number one on Steam for revenue. A year and a half afterwards is fantastic, right? So Helldivers count is at 500,000. It says, in case you missed it, Helldivers 2 arrived on Xbox. It seems to be doing rather well for itself as Xbox players piled to pledge their lives to defend Super Earth. Helldivers 2 player count jumped at one point, topping 500,000 players across the entire platforms. Okay. While Helldivers 2 account is welcome to new players, it accommodated on the unprecedented jump of recruitment. Okay, there it is, the 500,490. Okay, this is assuming the screenshot of the game current in-game player count across Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, which total 500,490 willing local soldiers for Super Earth. So this is fantastic news for Sony. This is fantastic news for Xbox because if the number's correct, and I'm assuming, obviously, so there's no factual thing here, but if the remainder 370,000 people were console, I would assume 2/3 of that was brand new Xbox players buying and playing the game. And obviously there's PlayStation people that still play the game. And then there's probably guys that came back and played the game. So I don't know if PlayStation, because there's another Buzz Lightyear had a video and he talked about how PC was the 60% of the player base, like since it came out. So PlayStation was always below that, and it just lost to console, but it's combining Xbox and PlayStation to surpass Steam, which is so for the first time since the game launched, the console's actually beating right now PC as players split. So there's more people playing on console. And I would assume it has to do with the Xbox, which is then good news, like I said, for Sony. And I think it'll come out. And at one point, they actually might sell more copies on Xbox than they did on PlayStation. So the fanboys might get their panties in a bunch. But as gamers, as this is good news because Sony has to look at this, Sarge, and be like, we probably should have done this sooner, right? But at the same time, timing's everything. They had to make the deal, okay? And it has been confirmed that Sony approached Microsoft, okay, that they actually approached them to make a deal with Halo to bring into the game. And they probably said, you know what, if we're going to bring it over there, let's team up with Halo. Let's do this. And then it makes sense because people are ravenous about the Halo franchise, okay? But you can also get that armor for PlayStation and stuff as well. So, look, this is a big win, I think, for gamers across the board. I think this is a huge win for Sony, so much so that there are other games that come out, they have to start thinking about, we should do day and date, if not shortly after, to put it on the other console.
Well, this type of game is just a compromise because it's not a complex game. This is an easy one to reach your hand across the aisle and to agree on something that this is good for gamers, and it gives us a little bit. It gives us a little bit of a better mojo, right, in the public eye, right? Because then it shows that they can get along. But let's put the little piece of corpo speak in there though. The reason why you have the ODST stuff in there is because Microsoft said, well, if we're gonna do it, then there has to be something. There has to be something in there, right? There has to be something in there from our side, right? Otherwise, we can't just shake hands and make a game for everybody, right? So they agreed on, well, we could do the ODST things. We'll put that in the game. I'm sure this deal had to be at least 18 months in the works. It's not just something that just popped up because you got to make all the assets, right? But that's part of the conversation.
Well, it's just cosmetics. I don't think it has to be 18 months. I think it was pretty fast when they did it.
All I'm saying is Microsoft wanted a little piece of it in there to be representative of them instead of just saying, let's have a game we can all just play, cross-play, and have a good time with, right? That's all I'm saying, right? I'm glad it's working out. I'm sure it probably eats away at them a little bit because they don't like to see everybody getting along. Like both all three consoles, all three platforms
that
playing together.
Wrong because they're actually selling a lot of copies of the game.
I'm aware. But they don't
which Major League Baseball, the show, MLB The Show, sold a shit ton as well over here. So that's two games now that they brought over, and they both sold really well on both sides.
Well, because it proves the point that they have to go cross-play in order to make money because you've divided the player base so badly that you need a game that most people will play that cross-platform will be, it's a win. You win. Right? It's not about the first party title because I'm trying to sell a console. I'm trying to get engagement numbers to a certain level. And if I've spent the last 5 years dividing the population of all the systems, then I need something that crosses everything over so I can get my number, right? They're not getting the numbers that they want. They're okay with the numbers that they're getting, but it's not the numbers that they want. I'm happy.
I mean, even if it's an extra 2 million copies sold, that's $2 million. That's 2 million copies. You know what I mean?
I agree. Whether it's a 70-30 split or not, doesn't matter. The gamers win. In this instance, gamers win.
Well, two things here. Altern says, if we're going to do it, he says it will be a waste not having this. It will be a missed opportunity. 100%. If they came and brought Helldivers to Xbox, everyone looks and goes, this is ODST. And they didn't bring the ODST in, they would be like, oh, missed opportunity, right?
Right.
And then, obviously, it's a legendary war bond. And it charges $5 more, and we know why it's $5 more because that's the cut that Xbox is getting for the Halo stuff, right?
Right,
that's exactly what it is. So get that money, Speaking of Xbox and speaking of PlayStation, I want to talk about Spider-Man, right? Because Helldivers is doing very well over on Xbox. It's doing well everywhere, but this next story is a mod that players made, people that are fans of Spider-Man, the 2018 version. They made a mod where you could play multiplayer. You can play co-op with Spider-Man with the multiplayer mod, and you can play. There's a clip here where there's six or seven people fighting Rhino here, and they're all playing together. Now, the only way you get access to this is through their Patreon and whatnot. But the fact that a mod can do this in their game, and there was a leaked Spider-Man and the Great Web or whatever it is, okay, where it was leaked from documents last year that they had a game, but Sony said they canceled it. I've said on record when they first showed it, I said I don't think it's canceled. I think they just put it on the back burner. They just told you it was canceled. They would be idiots not to bring a multiplayer in for Spider-Man, okay? Nothing but good would come from this, where you're playing with your friends and doing different things with the multiverses of Spider-Man.
Well, you know what I see when I look at this? Right? I see heroes fighting a villain.
Yes.
Not just all Spider-Man. I see other heroes fighting together against a hero.
Well, right. Well, but Spider-Man, the multiverse, you're different Spider-Man from different universes coming in and fighting.
No, I get it. I understand it's a mod, but what I'm saying to you is this is where you see the possibility of you fighting a big baddie with multiple heroes. You see it.
Like we were doing in Path of Exile, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So my thing is, PlayStation would be idiots, right? Again, this is 2018. This is an old game that's been out for 7 years now. Okay, why wouldn't you make that greater web and put it out? And not only just put it out for PlayStation, you put it out just like you did Helldivers, just like you did MLB The Show. You put it on PC, you put it on Xbox. Xbox fans would eat that up. They would love a Spider-Man game back on Xbox. Okay, but you understand we're not stubborn. The fans are like, no, I'll wait. I don't need this, right? If I'm not going to go buy a $700 box so I can play Spider-Man multiplayer, right? They'll be like, I don't need it. But if you brought it onto the actual system, they'll be like, I have to have it because it's here and I'm going to spend the money to buy the game, right? And that's what they don't understand. Sony doesn't understand that. And I think because of this mod, I think Greater Web is going to go back into, if it's already not going back into development, okay? I think it's already in development. I think they're working on it. I think they will release it next year because I think they need it. I think they need another game to come out, a live service game, especially after Helldivers 2 is very successful, okay? This game is selling very well. Their games are selling well over on the PC side. It's extra money. So they'd be idiots if they didn't do it. Is your camera frozen? I think your camera's frozen. Oh, no, you're good. I think this is stupid if Sony doesn't do something like this and bring it across multi-platforms. I know people are like, yeah, you can't put it. Shut up, right? It doesn't harm you because your game is now on someone else's platform. You get to play the game on your platform. Someone else gets to play it on their platform, right? And everyone plays. The gamer plays. And you have Wildgate would love if it was cross-play and stuff like that because then more people will be playing the game. More people have the opportunity to play the game, and then maybe that multiplayer game that people need to play, multiplayer, okay, those games would stay alive longer. But who knows, right?
I think that the fact that they showed the ability that it can be done is the chink in the armor because then you realize that they just don't want to do it. The modders can do it, which means that the industry can do it anytime they want. But once again, it's harder to market certain things because they put themselves in this box, this template that they have to do to sell games. All I see, I agree with you, Water. All I see is fun when I see that, right? I see the Fantastic Four fighting Doctor Doom. That's what I see, right? I see Superman and his friends fighting against a couple of villains, Rhino, maybe Doc Ock. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that I see when I look at stuff like that. And then what I also look at is a more complex combat system, like the Spider-Man or the Arkham Battle, where you have to hit the right buttons at the right time because you're fighting abilities. And you have abilities, and I always thought that it should be a few buttons that lead to an ability as opposed to just pushing a button for an ability. So then it's more of a skill thing as opposed to just smashing buttons. But that's just me.
I liked Gotham Knights for the multiplayer aspect of it. Right, the co-op where you could be in the city with another person and play within the city, and then it was, I believe, crossplay, right? And then on top of that, you could play the raid-esque type of thing where there's 4 of you guys and you're each one of the characters from it and going up against the boss. That was awesome. I know a lot of people gave shit to Gotham Knights, but there was a lot of good things they did in that game with the open world.
They tried
being
stuff.
Co-op. They tried something different, right? That's what Spider-Man could be. 100% that's what Spider-Man, the Greater Web could be. But, it's like they want to keep it because they want to make the money, right? They're like, no, we're keeping Spider-Man because it's going to make money over here for us. But it's like if you put it out for your guys and other people, you would make more money, like more money. They're like, no, we would rather keep digging into the pocket over here and just
Because you still think that we're going to buy a $700 box just to play your game.
The boxes keep going up, but yet no one's going over there to pay.
I'm waiting
on either side. No one's buying an Xbox for $700, $800, and no one's buying a PlayStation just for the greater web.
I'm waiting to see when PlayStation, or when Sony decides to stop fighting for the box. I'm waiting to see when this day comes. It's going to come sooner than later, right? Because the boxes are going up. Whatever the next system is going to be, you haven't proven to us that the specs mean anything because you guys are not using the hardware for its purpose anyway. We're getting games that are not optimized at all. So why am I buying a box? So I want to see when the day comes where Sony's like, you know what, we can't sell boxes because there's no point. Like, and then where do they go from there? Right? Because if you want me to buy the box, it has to be a good damn reason why I'm buying the box. And if you're going to give me all these specs about how awesome it is, and then yet you make another game that doesn't use the hardware at all, then what's the point of buying the box? I'm already having that fatigue from this past generation. Like, I bought an Xbox Series X, and I never got my game.
Right.
That uses the super duper hardware. Same deal. Right? So who faints first? Like, when? What's going to happen here?
Right. Who
decides we're not going for boxes anymore? Right?
Well, Xbox already decided we're not going for boxes anymore.
But they're still going to make a box.
Right, they're making a box, but I'm saying they decided that they're not. You don't need a box, but you can still buy our box. Yeah.
Right. But how does that work in the marketing? We don't want you to have a box because everything's a box. And by the way, we're making a new box. Like, my brain just starts spinning. What team are you on? Do you want to sell hardware or do you want to sell a streaming service?
No, they want to sell to everybody. If you want to buy a box, buy a box. If you don't want to buy a box and you just want to buy the game, cool. If you don't want to buy the game and you want to stream it, cool. Like, they don't care. You want a handheld? We got you. You want to play on your mobile phone? We got you.
They're trying to give you whatever entrance ramp you need.
But they're trying to make it as easy as possible to get into the thing, right? They don't want any barriers. They're like, this is what it is. And what happens is, see, it's the long game. If it works out, it's a big risk.
Long game.
Right. It's a big risk, but it's a long game shot for Xbox or Microsoft, I should say, because if they can get this right and they can just hover and just make money, lose money, but they stay just like this for the next 10 years. Okay. A person that starts playing games at 7 years old is not going to be 17 years old. And then they're going to be young adults, and then they're going to have families, and they're conditioned at this point of, they don't care that this game is on this platform or this platform. It's just, oh, I can play it anywhere. I can play this here. Oh, why doesn't this company also do this, right? And they're slowly going to corrupt or conditioned, however you want to talk about it, okay, to make people go, yeah, I don't care. This is the way I want it, right? Like, look at streaming services. When streaming services first happened, everyone was like, I don't want this. I want to own the thing. And now you stream your music, you stream your movies, you stream your games. It's conditioned. You're conditioned. Before, you used to download them off Napster and LimeWire and all this other stuff, and it was a very small, population that did that. Now everyone's just streaming off Spotify or streaming off Amazon or streaming, and you're watching YouTube. You don't own any channel here. You're not watching anything. You're just streaming constant things, and everyone's okay with it now because that's the norm. That's the norm now. The norm is, watch anything anywhere you want. I can watch YouTube on my phone, on my television set, on my computer screen. You ever see that commercial for, I think it was Bright House? The guy's watching, it was for a World Cup. Like, he's watching the World Cup, but he has to get ready for something, and so he goes to the bathroom, opens up his mirror, and there's a television in his mirror. Then he gets his sock drawer, opens it up, there's a television in his sock drawer, right? He opens up the refrigerator, and right? Like, no matter where you go, you can watch what you want to do or play. That's basically what Microsoft was going for. Krebsy, you're right on it. I was going to do it, but it's the lawsuit. We're not going to talk about it. But yeah, you don't own the movies that you have, and they're in a lawsuit now for Amazon. Okay, I want to talk about The Division because we're getting low on time here. I want to talk about The Division. We played a lot of The Division. I think it's one of both me and Sarge's most played game in the last 5 to 6 years. Right? I
played a lot of Division.
Yeah, you were like level 1,000, weren't you? Over 1,000?
Yeah.
I was 500 something. Okay.
Yeah, I was probably like 17 or 1800 or something
now,
like that.
Remember, Sarge, when
But that was nothing, by the way. I saw people at $5,000.
Yeah. 4,000. Yeah. Remember when Division stopped being supported? right? It was like year 3, year 4,
Yeah,
whatever
it's
it was.
like I remember it just like when my girlfriend stopped caring about me.
Yeah.
Almost the same thing happened.
Yeah.
The same exact thing happened. Like everything just stopped. Everything. No support.
Yeah.
No love. No nothing.
Yeah. It was just gone, right? And you're like, what's happening with this game? And they came back and said, hey, we're back. Remember us? We're making stuff for this game again. And now they've completely changed the tune for what Division is, right? So I thought this was funny. I saw this. It says Division 2 was saved by a team of 5 developers we weren't supposed to exist. Okay? So as I read through this, right, it talks about in this timeline, there was these people. We had 5 people to restart Division 2. 5, right? They say this. This is the guy saying, he's like, we had 5 people to restart Division 2. 5. What were you thinking? He says, that was fun, right? So 5 people. When a few of us made a small team to resurrect the Division 2, I had zero interest in adding year or 2, just to sunset the game again, all right? The goal was we believed that we could do what was build something bigger and lasting, and it was fun to see, and there's also still much more that we wanted to do. They figured the biggest challenge would be staffing, and yes, studios planned staffing years in advance to keep everyone allocated and busy. We created a problem of being a team that needed positions filled that we were also we weren't on anyone's spreadsheet. We weren't supposed to exist. So they took a band of brothers of just 5 developers and said, no one cares about the Division 2. Just do something. And they're like, okay, are we on the books? They're like, yeah, but no one knows about you. So just keep doing it, right? While they all went on to work on like Outlaws and everything else, these 5 guys, 5 developers, okay, kept the game what it was. Hence why we were yelling, going, what the fuck update is this? Like, what is this? They didn't do anything. Like, when you saved somebody, you didn't even see the person you were saving. It was just, they just showed up at the place, right?
Down at the bottom of the screen, it says, yay, you saved me.
Yeah. It was like minimal viable product.
Oh,
okay.
Sure.
That's what was going on for that time frame. And then voila, here we are. Division reveals upcoming year 7 roadmap. Okay. Now remember, we went through not supporting it, barely supporting it, to then changing what Division 2 was to make it like a Diablo-style-esque game, which everyone pushed back on, and then they changed it back to what Division was, and now they're adding stuff. So there was such a pushback, and because of these 5 guys, or 5 developers, kept the game alive, we're here now in year 7, where they're actually supporting the game again and putting different game modes in it, different content back in the actual game, and then on top of that, Sarge, they're adding Division 2 project revealed an update for survival extraction. The thing that was in Division 1, that day 1 when Division 2 came out, we were like,
where is it?
Where's the survival one? That the best game mode in Division 1, where is it?
It's not like it doesn't snow in DC.
Right. Well, it takes place in the summer. They can't do that. Well, guess what?
So when you make the extraction, it can be wintertime. It's not like you can't flick the switch.
Right. So guess what? Now Division 2 project is coming back to survival, and then what? DC is getting snow, right? So now they're putting it back in the snow. Okay, so they have a completely different game mode coming out. So real quick, let me go back to here with the roadmap. Okay, the plan for Division 2's roadmap, where is it? Starting with the new content in year 7, Division 2 is the pack of a new season launching September 9th, which is just right around the corner. Okay, we get a glimpse of that, what would like to be a trailer above. As per a blog post on the Division 2's website, the pack focus on enemy factions which have joined up. So all the factions in the city have joined up in a new season of Retaliation, a permanent open world activity that adds control point mechanics. This is right up your alley, Sarge. You might have another game to go back to. Okay,
I don't think I'm gonna put it back on my hard drive.
Okay. After the pack,
I did not forget why I didn't like Ubisoft anymore. I didn't forget that part.
No, I understand, but you liked the game, but they didn't change it. The reason we stopped playing was because they were making it Diablo. But they stopped making it Diablo. We didn't have to make a new character every single time. And now it's just Division again, right? It's just Division like you liked it, and now they're adding more mechanics, and you love doing control points. Okay, well, now they have new control point mechanics inside the thing. So after the pack, the next season titled Mutiny, the launcher later this year, the plans are adding new modifiers as well as new companion mechanics. While details are scarce about the Mutiny, the team promises the fans will also hear more about the coming months in the roadmap and their mention of the franchise 10th year anniversary. So there's also many reasons to look forward to whether or not Division 3 or bigger expansion. Okay. So obviously you have a lot on your plate. You got Path of Exile 2, you got the Helldivers, you got Warhammer, you got a lot of games. Can Division win a time frame back in your spot? I mean, would you go back if we played and see what the mechanics were?
I mean, that's why I have YouTube. There'll be some streamers that are gonna play it. I'll be able to watch the streamer play it, and he'll talk about what the companions do, if they do anything at all, what the guns are gonna do again, what's the new mechanics. Like, I'll be able to look at all that stuff without putting that game back on my hard drive. I mean, like, maybe, and the maybe's down into like the 15% range, because there's too many other things happening for me to put another game in the list. Am I happy it's still around? Sure. Should there have been a Division 3 by now? Yes. Right? Do you want me to keep engaging in a game that doesn't really add any content, but rather busy work to the already list of busy work things inside your game? Right? The reason why the 5 people were there is because they needed to keep the game going, because Ubisoft's other projects were in the shitter. Right. They needed something that people could log on to daily and play to keep engagement up. Okay. Is it good? Possibly. Right. I'll wait and see. But I'm not going to all of a sudden praise them for resurrecting a game that they fucked up intentionally and then want me to care about it. Right. Do you not remember the list that led to the demise of Ubisoft? Like,
yeah.
My head doesn't just fall off and I put a new head on like, hey, everything's great. Like, I'll wait, see. I'll see what happens.
Wolverine says, I've been playing for the last 2 months. It's nice to come back to.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted some kind of forward motion in the storyline, not this it was complete and total half-ass.
Barely getting
bare minimum.
But see, we didn't know, Sarge. There was only 5 people working on it. We joke. We're like, what is it? Like 5 guys working on this? Yes. Yes, there was.
Yeah. You had the skeleton to make the story good. I'm not saying it's going to be an amazing story, but the story was there. You kept pussyfooting around all these people and bringing back the same guy over and over again. It's like, I know you guys can come up with another guy. I know you can come up with another villain. Something else is going on. I got to save somebody. He becomes a companion, like something. Instead, it was just cookie cutter every season. I was like, after a while, it's like, I don't care anymore.
I liked it, and I'll tell you what. You know what's going to stop me? I'm probably going to go back and try the update myself. I don't know if Sarge will join me or not, just to go see what it is. But I think Helldivers is going to be that game that fills in the gap for if Helldivers 2 didn't come to Xbox, then I would probably play more of Division 2. But because Helldivers 2 is now on Xbox, I probably won't touch Division 2 just because of time restraints and whatnot. I would rather do that because I love Helldivers because it respects your time. Now, Division 2 also respects your time because you could come in and go, I have 30 minutes to play a game. I'm looking for this piece of gear, this gun, and I can go in and just do that. And you get not one, you get a shit ton of them. And if you didn't get the gun that you wanted, you would scrap all those and work towards that, getting that piece that you wanted to upgrade on your gear.
Well, the good news in that game was the builds were good, and it wasn't just a build that was good. They made multiple variants of different builds to be viable, which made the game fun because when you got into a group of 6 people, when you did the raid parts, it was fun to see the different builds that people would have put together while you're playing. Not everybody's running the same death build the whole time. But the issue was that because of the builds that we had access to, they never made the enemies fit the builds that we were destroying them with. There wasn't anything that countered. It was either a cheese move or you crushed it. That's what the enemy did. There was nothing in between. Right? And giving people ridiculous health pools to offset the fact that somebody had a death build is not challenging. Right? That was the other issue. Right? Otherwise, I did enjoy it. Right? I thought it was done very well in the beginning. But once again, they never planned far enough out with mechanics for bosses and different types of for the team boss battles, it was always the same. Right? It was either a time delay or a what's the phrase? Invulnerable phase. Like a boss has an invulnerable phase. Like that if you have a death build, it doesn't matter because the boss has invulnerable phases, so it doesn't matter that you have a death build, right? You couldn't speed through the game or speed a boss battle because they had programmed in all these little delays inside the game. It's like, okay, so I give them the benefit of the doubt because it was 5 guys, so that was the best way you could do it, by giving health pools and invulnerable phases. Okay, I guess I gave it to you for the moment, but at the same time, you want us to care. You want to go back because you want people to pay money for this. You want to go back in. You want us to be engagement again. But what do you got?
Yeah.
What do you got?
I really like visually what Division 2 is, and the loot system in Division 2. Every loot game should take what they're doing in Division 2, and that should be a standard. It should be a law that you have to make
targeted farming,
like what's in Division 2. It's fantastic.
But even targeted farming is random. Because the stuff moves around each day. So you're not doing the same shit always.
Correct. They're moving around the maps and different things. It's a phenomenal system that they have in Division 2. If anything, right, if Division 3 doesn't start off with that system, they're fucking idiots. Okay? If they don't take what Division 2 did and put it into Division 3, if there is a Division 3, they're fucking idiots. Because that's the best system, hands down, in gaming as far as targeted loot farming. Okay? Sure. Every looter, Diablo, okay, Destiny, Borderlands, all of them should be like that.
Right, but not just for endgame. You should have targeted loot in the beginning because if you're finding stuff that you need, you know where to go to get it. Instead of this complete and total randomness of me finding anything and artificially keeping me in the game for 1,200 hours before I get a really good build because everything's random. As opposed to me playing with people, seeing their builds, get curious, and then go find the stuff that they...
Where'd you get that? Yeah. It's this, and it's here, and it's in this location today. Yeah. And if you don't get it, you can scrap those things and put them into the overall build.
I found a lot of fun builds. I found a cool medic build. I found a death gun build. I found a drone build. I found that explosion build that Brainchild taught me, right? And I kept finding more multipliers on the pieces of armor. So I was throwing out the mines, and the mines are going off, and they would just constantly explode. Like, I thought that was hilarious, right? They were good for ads, but not good for like yellow bars or bosses. But it was like an ad clearing explosive. But the little mini balls I threw out, I love that one. I love that build. It was like one of my favorite builds.
All right. That is going to be the top stories. Now it's time for Q&A. So I'm going to put the banner up. You guys have any questions? Put a Q in front of your question. We'll mark them down. We'll put them in the chat. We'll let that go for a little bit. I'll go over some of the stories that we didn't have time to get to, which was, I'll just give you the headlines. NVIDIA makes almost 10 times more from AI than gaming. Okay, but margins are already eroding as rivals push into the space. We didn't get to a PR storm of erupt around Razer's gaming laptops with reports of faulty trackpads and keyboards, glitchy software, and performance issues for poor customer support.
No surprise. It's just their turn.
Atari just acquired the rights to 5 Ubisoft franchises, and let me tell you something. Nobody cares.
Well, here's what you should care about, is that Ubisoft is accepting Atari money.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, that's how bad Ubisoft's doing right now.
Here's the 5 franchises. 5 franchises are I Am Alive, Child of Eden, Cold Feel, Grow Home, and Grow Up. Okay, those are the 5. Okay. Another story we didn't get to: Nintendo Switch 2 third-party lineup.
It doesn't even sound like IPs. It sounds like a little kid insulting you.
Yeah, it actually does. Right? Be like, I Am Alive, Child of Eden. Mm-hmm. Right? I have Cold Fear. Grow Home and Grow Up, right? Okay, thank you. Nintendo Switch 2 third-party lineup may be suffering from lack of dev kits. Okay. We have Call of Duty. Black Ops 7 has already beaten Battlefield 6 because of autopilot purchasing. I talked about this on my Daily Grind show.
Autopilot for sure.
Early in the week. So if you want to go listen to that, you can go listen to what I think there. Everything that transferred from Call of Duty Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 7, this was on August 19th. Just kidding. On August 26th, no Call of Duty skins or weapons will be carrying over to Activision, has said that before, right? So now they said they were coming, and then they said they weren't coming. So these are things that we haven't talked about. Then also, Hell Let Loose, Vietnam hands-on preview. I read through this article earlier before the show. The guy sounds like it's doing pretty well, right? It's doing the Unreal Engine 5. They said that a lot of stuff that they was a problem inside of Unreal Engine 4, they fixed inside this game. They said that it wasn't really hard to see because the way they did the graphics and the stylization and the lighting inside the game, you can see people in the jungle and stuff like that. So they've did better there. And the last story we didn't get to talk about, which I talked about earlier this week, is Splitgate 2 devs beg fans, give us one more chance for our relaunch. Okay, because they're really hurting. They're just like, we're doing this, then we're not doing this, then we're doing that, then we're not doing that. So they're like, please, like they literally put. So I'm not making this up, Sarge. This was actually a tweet. Okay, someone said, "Hey guys, I don't want to be that guy, but literally killed your second game as well." And they said, "Give us one more chance at our relaunch." And they put hands like it's depressing. Stop it.
Yeah, but
yourself.
how the guys from Splitgate are acting is how we should treat the AAA and quadruple A companies as well. We should
100%.
We shouldn't be buying their shit at all until after the first week's up and see what it actually does.
Yeah, 100%. So those are the stories we couldn't get to. And just to give you a heads up, this number when we started the show 2 hours ago was at 204,000. And now it's at 340,000. So
yeah, it's because it's
everyone.
It's a weekend. It's a week, yeah. Right? It's late. It's getting to be weekend night here, and people they don't go out because they have to work tomorrow. But their boys get on and they jam on some games. That's what this is.
Yeah. All right. So we have questions. We got 2 questions. Nobody has any questions this week.
We don't need any questions.
All right. Well,
only answers.
Let's get to Q&A. I don't know what. Not working.
What's not working?
It's breaking. The video's not playing or whatever. It does it and then it just stops.
It played to me.
It stopped halfway for me. Anyway, Q&A with Sarge. Let's see what
we almost made it, bro. It was almost a show without any problem.
Almost had a complete. You froze a couple times. And
I didn't freeze. I just stopped moving.
No, you froze. You actually froze.
I didn't freeze.
You did. Don't worry about it. Altern.
I did this. That's all I did.
With this question.
I gave you the dead stare. That's all that happened.
Why would I buy Star Citizen and Starfield when No Man's Sky is doing the same, but better and with no extra charge?
Riddle me this, Batman.
This is the thing I've been saying. How can No Man's Sky 9 years, 2006. Yeah, 9 years later. 9 years later. Not one microtransaction in sight. Okay. And they just keep coming out with update after update after update. And they're like, yep, just pay $50. That's it. Just pay $50 or whatever the price is. Right. It goes on sale. You can buy it cheaper. You get a better game. Right. It's mind boggling how No Man's Sky's business model is make a game, support the game. Okay. And just keep making money. We're not adding extra DLC.
But when are those kooky guys gonna get bored of making a sci-fi game and try to do something else? Is my question.
They are. They're making Light No Fire, which is another game like this, but instead of a whole galaxy, it's one
planet,
actual world planet.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. We should actually change this segment. I think I'm going to change this segment. Instead of ask Sarge and 30 questions, it'll be Krebsy and Altern asking questions to Sarge and 30. I think that's what we should.
Not everybody has questions, man. It's a trying time we live in. People just want to watch a show, relax. I have to ask you questions now. God, bro, I can't.
Our audience participation.
All my wife and my girlfriend keep doing is asking me questions. I don't want to hear any more questions. I just want to just chill.
All right. Next question is between No Man's Sky, Helldivers 2, Fortnite, Destiny, Mobile, Battlefield 2042. When would I find time to play the new games?
I don't know. Tell me.
We were just having this conversation before the stream started.
If you are a habitual gamer that you log on to do homework assignments because you got a bunch of games on the agenda, what are you supposed to do?
Top games that people playing 9 years and older.
I mean,
like
Helldivers works because it's a 15-minute mission, 20-minute mission, and you're done. You can knock out 2 of them in less than an hour. If I'm playing an RTS, it's an hour. Easy. If I'm doing a competitive mode, it's an hour easy. 45 minutes to an hour. And if we're all good, it's longer than an hour.
Right.
That's one game. You can knock out 3 or 4 games in a Helldivers game. It's easy.
Krebsy's question says, interesting in playing Lego Voyagers with Sarge or someone else next month. Game releases September 15th. I don't even know what that is.
What's Lego Voyagers?
Is that like a puzzle? Is that a puzzle Lego game that you're talking about, Krebsy? I don't know what that is. Let me look it up. Lego Voyagers. Oh, yeah. This is the... All right, let me bring it up on Steam. Nah, I don't think we'll play this.
There's another Steam sale going on right now. I'm trying not to.
There's always Steam sales going on, Sarge.
I know, but for the games that I like, I can't look at them. I can't keep looking.
Yeah, this is I think like a puzzle type of thing. I see why you're asking us if we're going to play it, because it's like working together to build puzzles, sort of like Split Fiction or Take Two. You got to build stuff and try to. Actually, you know what? Who knows? Maybe down the road. I wouldn't say next month, but I wouldn't say we're not going to play it. Down the road, we could play it, because I like playing games like this and figuring stuff out. And me and Sarge are good at this type of stuff, so it would be fun.
I see a lot of yelling.
Yeah,
I see a lot of yelling.
So I won't say no.
It looks interesting. It looks like the most basic version of Split Fiction.
Right.
I'm just a onesie. Right? I'm not even a piece, really. I'm just a onesie. That's all I am.
Water Bear says, what has to change in order for you guys to purchase Borderlands 4 day one? Nothing. Nothing you can do to make me get Borderlands 4 day one.
Zero. I've heard enough. I've heard enough of that maniac.
It's nothing to do with the game. I'm always this guy, Water. It's not the game, it's the company. And 2K and Take-Two and Gearbox, I don't like what they've done in the past.
Right.
I don't hate their game.
Between the EULA, Randy's mouth, right?
And what they've done in the past.
I don't care.
I can wait for that 5 years to play Borderlands 4. All DLC for $5 or when it comes to Game Pass. When it comes to Game Pass.
That's right. When
it comes to Game Pass, because it will come to Game Pass. Krebsy, hold on. Let me shut that off. Krebsy says, where'd it go? Oh God, I lost it. Okay. Do we actually think 2026 COD, not Black Ops 7, will go back to being grounded and return to grit to the series of more Ninja Turtles? I think that they said in their tone, right? Like, so the next game is like in the future. So all the cosmetics still will look like robots and androids and all that stuff. So instead of giving you Beavis and Butthead, they're going to give you RoboCop. Do you know what I mean? Or yeah, like they'll thematically do it to the future. Like instead of bringing Family Guy in, they'll bring in Blade Runner. You see what I'm saying? They'll be in the futuristic-esque type of stuff that they're going to do. They're not going back to the grit and basics and stuff like that. They'll see the money drop and they'll be like, we need to come up with something, and then they'll bring back the ridiculousness back in April, sooner rather than later. What do you think, Sarge?
I think between the autopilot sales and the fact that it doesn't matter how bad the game is, they still sell double-digit millions. It doesn't really matter. It would have to be consecutively bad for multiple seasons or multiple years, and I don't think it'll happen, because because remember they're in 3-year cycles. So as soon as the one releases poorly, right, they're already into a 2-year cycle for the other game already. So they have to pivot at that last year to figure out which way they're going. Right? Think of that. Think about how they're doing it. Right? If we're doing this here, we have to already be planning out where this one's going. And when this one releases, this one's already almost done. Right? Because they got 3 studios running 3 years. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're going to pivot, it'll probably take them almost 2 years to pivot because the game that they're currently on is releasing and the next one is already almost done. But no one seems to care. I mean, COD is COD. It's almost like a staple.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
the autopilot people are going to buy COD because they.
I mean,
they buy it every year.
I still think it might be the worst COD in years, and they'll still sell double digits.
Oh, easy.
Easy.
Yeah, I still think it'll sell 17 to 20 million.
I'll go a little lower at 14.
Okay.
14. Yeah. 13, 14. Because they're all mad. Remember, they're all mad.
Right. They're all mad.
Sell 13 million.
Yeah.
But if they're not mad, 25 million.
At 25 to 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Altern says, when can Sean Murray can start charging for No Man's Sky? Like 7 years ago. I think he could have done it like 7 years ago.
Easy.
No, that's not true. About 4 years ago, he could have done it. I don't think they charge. I think that the next thing they charge for is Light No Fire, and that's going to sell so many copies, and they'll be in the exact same boat they are again. Because if it does, Light No Fire comes out broke, buggy, and unfinished, they have two things going for them now. Okay, they have the goodwill of what they did to No Man's Sky, and two, they're like, oh, they'll fix it, right? That's what they'll do. They're like, oh, they did it to No Man's Sky, they'll do it again. It'll be Light No Fired.
Yeah. My question to you, Alternatives, is why do you feel the need to ask that type of question? Why can't you just say, hey, it's a great game. I can't believe that they're actually doing this. Why am I worried about giving them more money when just like before, the game was the game. They gave you the content, right? The apology's over though. He could at least make 2 or 3 DLCs at this point.
Yeah.
And all he had to charge is like $10, like $10 or $15, and people have been like,
"Yeah,
here, no problem."
Here you go,
$10 here.
Krabsy says, "Why are consumers retarded?"
It's in the water. I mean, the all the lead in the water makes your inability to critical thinking is in the toilet. Let's put it that way. Critical thinking's in the toilet.
I agree.
Right?
Altered says, when are you going to release the live service dream? I'm sorry. Live service dream. Person blue speaking microphone. It's going to be this weekend. I'm putting it out. It'll be live this weekend.
That song sounds like it should be coming out of the radio inside the Grand Theft Auto.
I would love that. Contact me. I would love that. Waterbear says, question, after Path of Exile 2 update, would you guys be willing to do a Path of Exile 2 night, 6-player team? Yeah, it would be Wednesdays. Yeah, Wednesday night we would play Path of Exile 2 for the next couple weeks or whatever. Yep, for sure. And then Waterbear says, how many games does Sarge have on his Steam library?
That's a good question.
I don't even know how many I have. Where do you look that up? Library. Does it say at the top? Where do you look that up? Profile. Does it say how many games you own? Where's that number? Collection? No.
I don't think it gives you the number. Oh, wait. 50.
Where does it say that?
Well, I have mine set for all games.
I got it.
Yeah.
148.
Yeah. I got 50.
I got 148.
Yep.
So,
and I got 50, and you think I'm eagerly awaiting Randy Pitchford's next major title.
Right. There's so many games. I mean, I could go back and just looking at my top here, I can go back to play RuneScape Dragon Wild because they've updated that. I go back to Dune Awakening because they're doing another chapter for that. I go back to Towerborn to play that. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which is a great little game. I can do that. Okay. I can let's see. Dawn of War. Sarge got me the entire set of Dawn of War, so I can go back and play all of Dawn of War. Right?
Yeah, but I bought it to you too soon. I should have got you the definitive edition.
Yeah. TCG Card Shop Simulator. I can go back. They've updated that. Brighter Shores. I can go back and play that. Right? All these things I can go play. I don't need to buy Space Marines 2. I don't need to even play Helldivers 2. I don't need to play any game that's new anytime soon. I have plenty of games. Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator, whenever they come out for console, I can go back and play those things or buy those and play those because I know I like those games already. I'll put another 400 hours into those games, right? There's so many games. I don't need new games. I don't need new games.
200. Like what's the flex, Altern? Did you finish any of them? Because the 50
I have
have
148.
The 50 that I have on my list, I've finished them. I played them enough times each. If there are multiple ways of winning it, I've played them. I think 50 legit finish is good than 200 just sitting in the attic. I mean, I don't know what the flex is. I got a bunch of games that I paid for, but I don't play them. I'm gonna sit on the front porch and drink.
What's your numbers, bro? What's your numbers? All right. I think that's it. Yeah, no more questions. No more answers.
Too many games, man. Seriously.
That is episode... What episode are we on? 454. It's getting up there. I keep forgetting. 454 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us on Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Make sure you share the channel with other people out there. It does help us out. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you can become a member as little as $5. It helps us out. And if you want to support us even more further than that, we do have merch that we're working on. We're making the shirts and stuff that you guys, I'm coming up with the designs and stuff that you guys wanted. So those will be happening in the next couple weeks. Okay. And then on top of that, if you guys want to help out, you can go stream or download our album called Perk Up and Press Play. And then there's also, I forgot to tell you guys, 50 likes got hit last week for Generation X Gaming. And because of that, Pete's Parachute song is up on Spotify. That's right. You can go listen to it. Pete's Parachute, the Golden Parachute Pete song is up on Spotify. You can download it. You can stream it. You can play it. You play it for your neighbors while you're mowing the lawn. Whatever you guys want to do. You wanted it. You got it. It's up there. So you go check it out. Other songs will be up there as well. Check out our other channels, 30 and Still Gaming for gameplay. Our Helldivers video got 1,000 views of it the other day. So for Helldivers on Xbox. So cool. Thanks for coming out and watching that. Also, Nerding with 30. Go check out some of the entertainment news and entertainment talks that we do. Go check out some of our other videos. I have a video up on here that we did last week about talking about how games don't respect your time. So go check that video out as well. Lots of different content. I appreciate it very much, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X Gaming Show.